Sadly, you bring 8 teams here, you got to start whittling them away, and today we're going to find out which of these 8 teams is the first to go home. Today, in an elimination game in Bracket 1, it's the Arizona Wildcats and the Louisville Cardinals. And good afternoon, everybody. I'm John Bishop, son of Ed Bishop. Next to me, Gary Sharp, son of Walt Sharp. Happy Father's Day, Gary, and happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Baseball and dads go together like, well, baseball, apple pie, Chevrolet, all of that stuff. But today, a lot of pressure on these two teams. They had to play with pressure in their super regionals. Both faced elimination games. But today, their seasons again are on the line.
And this won't be a dad's joke, which will be full of them all day long. We have seen this when we get to the first elimination day, and every coach is asked, well, now you got to win 4 in a row. The teams that handle it well don't even think about that. They think about winning today so that they keep their season alive, but it is win or go home, so does that adjust to how you do with your pitching? When you pull your starter, if somebody is struggling, or the way that you try and score as many runs as possible. But I really like, and we're going to talk a lot about the matchup today. You have 2 freshmen that are going at each other, and that shows you how good they are, that their 2 head coaches are putting the ball in the hands of freshmen to help them save the season.
Well, Louisville got here because of the stolen base and because of pitching. Pitching, they did all right the other night against Oregon State. The problem is they couldn't get their running game going. Meanwhile, for Arizona, this is a team that's been hitting the ball all over the yard during this postseason, but they were kind of limited to a degree, though they did pound out 9 hits. Unfortunately, they didn't have enough to slow down Coastal Carolina. So I wonder which of those elements today is most important for these teams, because as you mentioned, they put 2 freshmen out there on the mound with their seasons on the line.
Yeah, until that 9th inning against Oregon State, Louisville didn't look like Louisville that we've seen on this run to get them to Omaha. They've got to get on base, and they've got to get their running game uncorked, because if they're not, and Arizona Smith Bailey, who is starting for them today, is able to keep them muted, then that's not a good sign for Louisville. But we're about to see how Arizona bounces back. I think both of these head coaches will say, we've battled some adversity this year. We've had a bounce back. We played very, very well. Someone's going to have to do it sooner than later today.
And both of these teams, their fates were decided in the late innings on our opening day on Friday. Louisville's comeback was turned away by a Beaver walk-off in the bottom of the 9th, while Arizona, it was a 4-4 game heading into the 8th inning before a 3-run rally by Coastal Carolina. So these two teams suffered some late heartbreak today. They're hoping that they can give the other the final heartbreak of their season. It is Louisville and Arizona today, elimination game in Bracket 1 from the Men's College World Series. And as we continue with our pregame show, we'll head down to the field and talk with Connor Happer. He will have both head coaches. And coming up next, we'll meet with Dan McDonnell of Louisville. It's the Cardinals and the Wildcats this afternoon, Father's Day in Omaha. From 1620 The Zone and the NCAA Radio Network, this is the Men's College World Series.
At Rotella's Italian Bakery, they put unsurpassed product quality into everything they bake. Old world skill and experience are masterfully blended with modern efficiencies to create the delicious breads, rolls, hamburger and hot dog buns, and other specialty products that have delighted their customers since 1921. Combining customer satisfaction with uncompromising quality is their goal. Rotella's Italian Bakery, a century of pride in every slice. To see the full menu of products, visit rotellasbakery.com.
He thinks bean counting is an iPhone app. He is the most uninteresting man in the world.
Hi, I'm Bob Berger. Don't just get your taxes done, get them managed. If you're tired of losing sleep over your business and personal taxes, you're ready to make more money, give us a call.
Call Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard CPAs at 402-551-1919 or visit BEPCPA.com.
What has cancer taught me?
The sky is pink at sunrise.
Brave does not mean stoic.
Friends will fill your freezer.
And that I have the academic specialists, the clinical trial options,
the level of personalized care.
I couldn't have gotten anywhere else.
Nebraska Medicine Fred and Pamela Buffett Cancer Center.
Because at the end of the day, I want the best chance to be here for tomorrow.
Get a second opinion at nebraskamed.com/cancer.
The Men's College World Series pregame show on 1620 The Zone and Westwood One is powered by Pinnacle Bank, serving you with strength, stability, and integrity. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be.
Bright sunny skies and more warm mid-June weather greeting us on day 3 of this Men's College World Series as we get ready for day 2 in bracket 1, elimination game between Arizona and Louisville. And it's time to meet with the coaches, starting with Louisville's Dan McDonnell. He's down on the field with the third member of our crew, the son of Scott Happer. Here's Connor.
Thanks, John. Here with Dan McDonnell, head coach of Louisville. Coach, quick turnaround after an emotional game on Friday. How have you seen your guys respond?
One thing about this group, this entire year, man, we call it getting off the mat. Turn the page, but because we're from Louisville, Kentucky, and the great Muhammad Ali, we talk about, man, you get knocked down to the mat, man, we're not quitting. We're not giving up this fight. So this team has been really good at getting off the mat, coming out, and trying to win that next round.
Came alive in the 9th inning. Can you bottle that up a little bit? Did that send a spark through your guys?
Well, there's definitely a lot of belief in our team, and from the first game of the year, we were able to win on a walk-off. So I think this team has believed all year. I think there's many, many walk-offs. It's good to be the home team today. We're never going to just lay down and give up. We're going to fight. Might not always win, but this group's going to fight.
Forbes gave you a great start on Friday. Set your pitching staff up a little bit for today. How do you feel from a pitching perspective going into this one?
Oh, really good. I mean, we're going to go with the freshman Ethan Eberle, who's been phenomenal for us. That allows Tucker Biven. He's such a versatile guy because he's pitched in so many different roles. We have him in our back pocket if at any point we need him. But our bullpen is ready. We did a really good job the other night, so there's no reason to not think, man, these guys are going to come out and compete. And looking forward to Ethan giving us a quality start. But, he doesn't have to do it by himself, as we always say, man. We got 9 guys out there, and we got a darn good bullpen.
Coach, thanks. Good luck.
You got it. Thank you.
John?
You bet. Thanks, Connor. Ethan Eberle this season has been really good for Louisville. He enters this game with a 6-2 record. Now, he's started half the games he's appeared in this season, so he's been both in the bullpen and in the main rotation. But last 2 games in the NCAA tournament, 11 1/3 innings, only 8 hits allowed, only 2 runs allowed, and he struck out 14. So his whip, his walks, hits per innings pitched, is actually under 1 in 2 appearances in this NCAA tournament. But we talked about it in the opening segment. Getting the running game going for Louisville is so critical. Louisville was held without a stolen base for just the 8th time this season, and the Cardinals never really were in position to truly start up their running game against Oregon State's Dax Whitney. Guzman, the catcher today for the Wildcats, has thrown out 25% of the opponents trying to steal. Louisville needs to get these guys at the top of the order, particularly Lucas Moore, going today. And Moore has had a sluggish start to this NCAA tournament. I think watch the leadoff spots today for the Cardinals. If they are controlled, it's going to be a good day for Arizona. But if not, Louisville could be moving on in this Men's College World Series. As we continue on the pregame show, we'll go back down on the field and talk with Chip Hale, the 4th-year head coach of the Arizona Wildcats. In association with 1620 The Zone, you're listening to the Men's College World Series on the NCAA Radio Network.
An estimated 80% of Americans aren't getting their recommended daily amount of physical activity. It's time to move and keep moving, America. And when you need help, physical therapists and physical therapist assistants are by your side. Be your own champion. Choose more movement. Choose better health. Choose physical therapy. Find out more information and a physical therapist at choosept.com/NE. Brought to you by the American Physical Therapy Association of Nebraska.
There's a new tomorrow on the other side of the horizon. There are promises to honor, work that needs to be done, friendships to enjoy, and people that count on each other. These are the things that tie our communities together. They always have, and they always will. Build your tomorrow with a bank you can rely on. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Baseball and a cold one go together like apple pie and America. At Cross-Strain Brewing Company, the goal of every beer is to make it enjoyable, drinkable, and leave you asking, what are they going to do next? Hit up Draftworks Taproom, just 2 blocks north of the ballpark for a cold beverage, a bite to eat, or for Dingerville. Presented by MCL Construction during opening weekend. Cross-Strain Brewing Company, always evolving. 2 blocks north of the stadium on Millwork Avenue. Please drink responsibly.
when your athlete is giving their all, you want them to have every advantage. KRT Athletic Muscle Cream helps warm up muscles, stop cramps in minutes, and speeds up muscle recovery. KRT is WADA compliant, hormone free, backed by science, and used by college and pro athletes. The game never stops, and neither should your athletes. KRT Athletic Muscle Cream. Stay in the game. Visit KRTRelief.com to get yours today.
The Men's College World Series pregame show on 1620 The Zone and Westwood One is powered by Pinnacle Bank, serving you with strength, stability, and integrity. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be.
It was a rarity for Chip Hale and his Arizona Wildcats. Arizona losing for the first time on Friday in 37 games this year when they were either tied or leading after 6 innings. It was a 4-4 ball game heading into the 8th inning. But unfortunately, they fell short, and now they are facing elimination. As we send it back down onto the field, Connor Happer is with Chip Hale of Arizona.
Thanks, John. Here with Chip Hale, head coach of Arizona. Coach, how have your guys responded over the last 48 hours here?
Yeah, I think the day off helped. We had a really great visit to Air Force Base, and guys got to kind of, put everything into perspective, and we had a good practice after. So I think they're feeling good. I think physically we're as good as we've been. And mentally, I think they're ready to rock.
So you talked about it a little bit after the game the other night, but now kind of the fun's over. Not that they're not having fun, but now it's kind of serious business with your backs against the wall.
Yeah, I didn't mean the fun, because this should be a fun experience. I just meant all the different events, and it's different having every bit of your family here. So it's like a Major League playoff series, and I think they understand that. And you're right, our backs are against the wall, and we've been here before.
You dropped the first Super Regional game 18-2. Is there anything to take from that you take into this one?
Yeah, just we know we can win after getting beat. And, the game the other day was a great game. I mean, it came down to a couple really good at-bats by them, and we understand that, and hopefully we get those great at-bats at the end of this game.
Pitching-wise, is everybody on deck today? Is everything you got?
Yeah, everybody's ready. Obviously, our relievers are in good shape, and hopefully get 5 or 6 out of Smith, and we should be in really good shape.
Coach, thanks. Have fun.
Thank you.
John, back to you.
Connor, thanks. And very similar to Ethan Eberle of Louisville, Arizona's Smith Bailey, the freshman out of Peoria, Arizona, has pitched 12 innings in 2 appearances in this NCAA tournament. He's only given up 9 hits and 3 earned runs while striking out 9. So his walks and hits per innings pitched is just barely over 1. So both these pitchers have done a good job of controlling base runners so far. We'll see if that continues here this afternoon. We're going to check our forecast here in just a little bit. Going to be a very similar day to the day and night that both of these teams faced on day one, with humid conditions, but the wind blowing in. Only had 2 home runs so far hit. One of them, by the way, by Mason White of Arizona so far through 4 games at this Men's College World Series. We will continue with more, our national anthem, forecast, and starting lineups on this Father's Day coming up. From 1620 The Zone and the NCAA Radio Network, this is the Men's College World Series.
Ready to hit your financial goals out of the park? Bankers Trust at 192nd and Dodge offers a full suite of banking products and tools just for you. Experience high-touch, personalized service in personal banking, lending, and wealth management. Swing by the new location or visit bankerstrust.com to learn more. Your financial future is at bat, and Bankers Trust is here to help you hit a home run. Experience the Bankers Trust difference today.
The hot, humid weather is coming, but if you call Patera Landscaping today, you can be relaxing in your crystal clear swimming pool this summer. Patera's design team will expertly craft and install your stunning pool that your family and friends will enjoy this summer and for years to come. Enjoy baseball, cookouts, and your perfect swimming pool from Patera this summer. Go to PateraLandscaping.com. For pool design, outdoor living, and landscaping, call Patera.
When it comes to protecting your home, J. Stennett Contracting takes pride in ensuring every detail is handled. Roofing, siding, gutters. When it comes to the exterior of your home, J. Stennett Contracting has you covered. Water, wind, and hail can wreak havoc on the exterior of your home. If your home is damaged, let J. Stennett Contracting come out for a no-obligation inspection. If repairs are needed, they will help you through every step of the process. When you need an honest assessment, J. Stennett Contracting has you covered. JSCRestoration.com.
The Men's College World Series pregame show on 1620 The Zone and Westwood One is powered by Pinnacle Bank, serving you with strength, stability, and integrity. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be.
Our Father's Day game weather presented by John Higgins Weather Guard. For storm repair, roofing, siding, and gutters, make the right call with the rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Should be partly cloudy today, warm and humid. Temperatures around 90 degrees. We're going to have south-southeast winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour, and the flags currently blowing in from the southeast indicate that forecast is right on the money. It should be good for the rest of the day. Tonight, maybe a chance for rain late tonight, but shouldn't be anything to interrupt play today. Our game weather presented by John Higgins Weather Guard. For storm repair, roofing, and siding with gutters and more. Make the right call with the rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Time now for our national anthem.
And you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, where the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, home of the brave.
The Jones Boys from Omaha with our national anthem presented by Bankers Trust. Experience the difference at bankerstrust.com. Both teams lined up along the baselines today. Arizona going with their light gray road jerseys from head to toe with the dark navy blue numerals trimmed in white. And Louisville is going with what can best be described as the tribute to the 1970s Houston Astros look. It's those horizontal stripes of different colors of red, basically from the mid-trunk area down to the bottom of the jersey with Louisville across the top and the red ball caps today. They broke those jerseys out about 8 years ago, and they have kept them in the arsenal. All of our pregame coverage, again, presented by Bankers Trust. Experience the difference at bankerstrust.com. Our Father's Day starting lineups coming up after a quick word as we pause 10 seconds for station identification in association with Westwood One. This is the NCAA Radio Network. Time for your starting lineups for this elimination game presented by Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard. Be sure to have Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard CPAs in your company's starting lineup for the Arizona Wildcats, 44-20 this season. It'll be Mike Summerhill's son, Brendan, in right. Jason Walton's son, Aaron, bats second in center. Ben White's son, Mason, is at shortstop batting third. Ingalls Guzman's son, Adonis, is catching and batting fourth. Jason Michalakis' son, Maddox, is at third base batting fifth. Kerry Caulfield's son, Garen, at second base, batting sixth. Batting seventh, it's Tad Kane's son, Andrew, DHing. Teague Splain's son, Tommy, is the first baseman today for Arizona, batting eighth. And Todd Breifogel's son, Easton, is in left field and batting ninth. They're in the field, defending behind Mike Bailey's son, Smith, who is a 4.01 ERA this season, making his 18th start of the year, a 3-3 record. In 83 innings, he struck out 76. Walking 30 with an opponent's batting average of .266. For Louisville, 40-23 on the season. Juan Carlos' son, Alex Alicea, is at shortstop batting first. Tobin Moore's son, Lucas, is in center field batting second. Scott Klein's son, Matt, is catching and batting third. Kevin Monroe's son, Jake, is at third base batting fourth. The one I didn't have to look up today, Eddie King Sr., his son, Eddie Jr., is in right field and batting fifth. Ben Davis's son, Teg, is at first base batting 6th. Sean Rose's son, Zion, is in left field batting 7th. Gavin Pike's son, Garrett, is DHing and batting 8th. And Kevin Neighbors' son, Kamayu, is at 2nd and batting 9th. And on the mound today, it's Dan Eberle's son, Ethan. The left-hander is a .434 ERA, a 6-2 record, making his 10th start of the year, 58 innings, 53 strikeouts, 24 walks, and an opponent's batting average of .255. And those are your starting lineups presented by Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard. Be sure to have Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard CPAs in your company's starting lineup. Gary's Keys and first pitch from Omaha are coming up next. In association with 1620 The Zone, you're listening to the Men's College World Series on the NCAA Radio Network.
Imagine being part of a team, working together to help children find their inner strength. You can by joining the team at the new Behavioral Health and Wellness Center at Children's Nebraska, a first-of-its-kind facility where you will contribute to a movement to nurture the mental well-being of kids and families. Become part of our people-first culture and provide hope where it's needed most. Apply today at childrensnebraska.org/wearehiringhope.
Make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the roofery.
When it's time to replace or repair storm damage, make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the local, trusted, and proven choice. No one has installed more Da Vinci roofs, and there's a reason why John Higgins Weather Guard is the nation's leader. Community member, community supporter. Make the right call.
John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the rooferys. Make the right call.
Omaha knows baseball, and muscle recovery is no game. That's why they trust KRT Athletic Muscle Cream for pregame, midgame performance, and postgame recovery. KRT uses transdermal science to help keep muscles loose, fight cramps fast, and get you back in the action. All natural, WADA compliant, trusted by elite athletes. So swing harder, run faster, recover smarter. KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, stay in the game. Available now at krtrelief.com.
Cubby's in the Old Market is your tailgate and baseball party headquarters. Cold beer and a full liquor department. Pop, ice, and Cubby's bottled water. Plus hot coffee and fresh and hot breakfast every morning. Cubby's Old Market, 13th and Jackson has it all for every baseball fan. Get everything for the grill from the full meat department. Chester's Chicken, Godfather's Pizza Express, hot and fresh deli food. Cubby's at the corner of 13th and Jackson. Open 24 hours. Cubby's for the very best in convenience.
The Men's College World Series pregame show on 1620 The Zone and Westwood One is powered by Pinnacle Bank, serving you with strength, stability, and integrity. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be.
Our four-man umpiring crew dressed in blue today behind home plate. Clint Fagan will be calling balls and strikes with Brian DeBrouwer at first, Gregory Street at second. Casey Mosier will be umpiring today at third. And again, if we have any replay reviews, and Gary, did we even have a replay review last night in the LSU Arkansas
I don't believe
game?
so.
That's the first game we haven't had this year, so better give a little love to Jay Stinnett Contracting. When storms hit, we've got you covered, jscrestoration.com. But if we do have any replay reviews, they're handled on site, but the umpires stay on the field, and they communicate through the earpiece, so it usually expedites the process. Time for Gary's Keys, brought to you by Rotella's Italian Bakery. The key to any tailgate is brat dog and burger buns from Rotella's Italian Bakery.
John, this is going to be a low-scoring game. That's what I think will happen here. You got a really, really intriguing matchup between the two freshmen, Smith Bailey for Arizona and Ethan Eberle for Louisville. And this stage should not knock them off par because both pitched in big games last weekend. Eberle pitched 5 innings, only gave up 2 runs against Miami, and Bailey went into Chapel Hill in a must-win situation for North Carolina and threw 6 innings and struck out 4. So I expect both of them to dazzle here today. But quite simply, I think today comes back to, can Louisville be closer to their identity? Because they love to run. They love to steal bases. They love to get guys on. And it was very, very muted. But I think it's important also to get off to a good start. Both of these teams thought they were in good spots on Friday. Of course, Louisville with their 2 runs in the top of the 9th inning, and then they got walked off in the bottom of the 9th inning. And even Arizona, against the hottest team in college baseball, they were in a tight game until that 8th inning. So the early innings are going to be important. What do the pitch counts look like? But I think this will be a great Father's Day afternoon ball game between Louisville and Arizona.
I do wonder, Gary, and I mentioned this earlier in the pregame, both teams did face elimination last week in the Super Regional, but the difference is Arizona, this will be their third elimination game in their last 4 games total, because they got thumped in the face in the first game of the Super, so they had to play Game 2 and Game 3 with their season on the line. Now they're playing today, and I wonder if that might help them just a little bit, as they are a little bit used to this now. They've been playing with their season on the line basically for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that's a great point, because we thought North Carolina would be one of the top teams to win a national championship this year, and they were also behind in those games in Game 2 and 3. So it's not only they were behind with the season on the line, they were behind in the game on the road in a hostile environment, and they found a way to extend their season and then get here to Omaha last weekend.
Keys to the game have been brought to you by Rotella's Italian Bakery. The key to any tailgate is brought dog and burger buns from Rotella's Italian Bakery. Now, as Gary was giving his keys and we were coming back from break, I've noticed that the flags are blowing a bit more towards the left field foul pole than they were when we started our pregame show. So that's more of a due south wind. And if that is the case, we might see another ball hit by Mason White, similar to Mason White. When he hit his home run on day one, it didn't seem like it had enough on it, but it just kept carrying and just got over the left field fence. And I say that not because Arizona is necessarily home run prone, but they have hit 18 home runs in this postseason playing in other ballparks. Now, we talked about this a lot on Friday, how this ballpark is very similar to High Corbett Field down in Tucson, which is more of a doubles and triples friendly ballpark. But you do wonder if that wind continues to whip more towards straight left field, if we might get a couple of bombs out of here today.
It could be the case. Last year we had 37 home runs. We've only had 2 through the first 4 games. And that Mason White home run barely got over Sebastian Alexander's glove in left field.
First pitch presented by Twisted Thunder Fireworks, a new twist to the local fireworks selection in Nebraska and Iowa. TwistedThunder.com. Brendan Summerhill getting ready to hit. And Ethan Eberle, a left-hander from Bloomington, Illinois, is ready for the first pitch. And it's on the way, and it is a little high for for ball 1. We will see a fastball that will top out around 90 miles an hour. He'll also mix in a slider and a change. The 1-0 is in there for a strike. So he started him off with 2 fastballs. Summerhill hitting .354 overall this season with 4 homers and 34 runs driven in, but just .219 in the postseason. He's one of the few Wildcats that has not had a big postseason thus far, and this pitch missing just a little bit inside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. So far, the 2 pitches that were called balls were called strikes by our TrackMan system, while the pitch that was called a strike was a little out of the zone. We have the TrackMan technology available to us up here. Summerhill fouls this one straight back. It was installed here when Major League Baseball played a regular season game between the Royals and the Tigers here in this ballpark a few years ago. And it is now operated by the Creighton Baseball Analytics Team, which is made up of students at Creighton University, one of our host institutions. The 2-2 is fouled straight back and out of play. So we get the pitch speed, we get the horizontal and vertical break, the spin rate, and, of course, launch angle and flight distance of the ball. We get all the toys. Lots and lots of toys. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Leadoff batter, Summerhill. Swings and misses. Good pitch there by Ethan Eberle as he gets his first strikeout of the afternoon.
Boy, doesn't it seem like Summerhill, who first-round draft pick, he's got all the tools and might be the best all-around outfielder. He's really been pressing. He's now 1 for 6 in the series, but he's out in his front foot. Now, that pitch was very difficult. That shows you why there's such a high upside for Eberle, as he has that little wispy, little breaking pitch that dives away from a left-handed hitter. But Summerhill he hasn't looked the same like he has in the previous couple of weeks for this Wildcat team.
Here's Aaron Walton hitting .317 with 14 home runs this year. First pitch, fastball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. It's not a power slider from Eberle. The slider is a little more upper 70s, but it can get swing and miss, as we saw from Summerhill a moment ago. Walton with 4 home runs in this postseason and 9 runs driven in. And this one misses low, the slider, and it's not 2-0.
So how many guys do you think when you look at Eberle and you go, okay, he's 6'5", kind of got that long blonde hair, and happens to wear number 51?
Are you saying he looks like a certain former Florida Gator?
Or a guy that'll have his 51 retired by the Mariners.
Another good point. Yeah. I was thinking more College World Series, but you're right. He's a little shorter, but 2-1 the count now on Aaron Walton. But yeah, you're right. It does. I don't have it in my notes, but I wonder if Eberle's 51 is for the big unit. He made 51 popular in baseball, similar to how Dick Butkus made it popular in football. 2 balls and a strike. Different generations, of course. And that one hit him. Fastball stayed inside and hits Walton below the waist. And the first base runner of the afternoon is via the hit batsman. That is the 10th hit by pitch this season from Eberle. And for Aaron Walton, 24 times he has been hit. We've got a number of players in this year's tournament who have been plunked at least 20 times, and a couple of them who have set school records in that category in a single season. Now, with lefties on the mound today, it's going to be interesting to see what these teams decide to do with the running game. Arizona doesn't run it as much as Louisville does, but top 2 guys in the order, Summerhill and Walton, do have double digits in steals. But you do have lefties on the mound, so it's always harder to read that move to first base. Here's Mason White, who, as we mentioned, homered in the first game on Friday. This one stays up, the fastball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
You know, I wonder if, though, somebody will do a deep dive after the season is over, because the power arms have never been as abundant as they are this year in college baseball. But you're absolutely right. The hit by pitches are way up.
The 1-0 pitch is a slider outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Also, we have noticed, with now that we've seen all 8 teams, guys are more willing to stand right on top of the plate than we've seen in the past.
Give them all that protective gear, and we've actually seen a couple batters called back. This one is ripped foul back and off the netting. 88-mile-an-hour fastball. 2 balls and a strike now on Mason White. 332 average, 20 home runs, 73 driven in. Second in program history with 49 career home runs. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. And it gets the inside corner. White tried to twist away from it as if to say it's going to hit me, and yet the slider caught the inner third of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the shift is on for Louisville, with infielders crowding the right side of the infield. Wide open space at third, and the pitch. Fastball outside, and now the count is full, 3-1. Based on that location, it was almost seemed like it was a waste pitch, just trying to get White to chase. But now the count is full, and you wonder here, even with 1 out, if Walton might be off with this pitch. Try to stay out of the double play if it's hit on the ground. And thinking the same thing, Eberle throws to first. Now, it's not much of a lead for Walton, because, again, he's still trying to get a good look at the read of the tall freshman. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, just underway. Arizona and Louisville. The elimination game in bracket 1. Here's the full count pitch, and it's popped up and backing out of play. A little bit of a thinner crowd than we've seen. But it is Sunday, so some folks might be just getting out of church or finishing up Father's Day brunch. It'll fill in a little bit more as the day goes on. Tonight, winner's bracket game between Coastal Carolina and Oregon State. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the full count pitch, and it hit him. So back-to-back hit batters.
Back with that front leg.
And Arizona is working on something here in the first. And here is Adonis Guzman, and immediately Kamayu Neighbors comes in. Catcher, the veteran catcher Matt Klein, comes out to talk to Eberle, trying to give him a bit of a pep talk. And here is Guzman. 326 average, 8 home runs, 42 driven in, had 3 hits on Friday.
Then he also laid down a bunt. One of the least likely guys in the starting 9 to lay down a bunt. It was a successful one, an important inning for Arizona against Coastal Carolina.
First and second, only 1 out. Eberle starting to build a jam here, and here's the pitch in for a strike. He started him in with a fastball. Guzman has been praised by his head coach Chip Hale for his maturation, especially when it comes to handling his pitching staff.
Louisville might be anticipating a bunt again.
First baseman's kind of crashing in, and this one's going to be lined into left field, a base hit. Green light is up. Here comes Walton. Here comes the throw. It's going to be cut off, and Arizona's ahead. Now they've got a man caught. They have got White caught between second and third. They will tag him out, but on the play, Walton scores. It's 1-0 Arizona, but Mason White got hung up in a pickle between second and third, and that'll be the second out. Guzman drives in his 43rd run of the year. The throw was cut off from left. And we'll watch on replay, Gary, how White got hung up.
Well, he thought the throw was going to go through. So if the throw goes through, he's headed to third. And it was a good cut by the third baseman, Monroe. I think White was just trying to be a little aggressive. I think he thought they were going to let it go all the way through, but a good job by Monroe to cut it, because out of the corner of his eye on the right side, he saw that White was way off of a second, making the turn to third.
So now 2 out, runner at first, and this one is lined past first and down the right field line for a base hit. Guzman will dig for third, and he'll pull up there. Pulling up at first is Maddox Mikalakis with a single, and it's first and third now with 2 out.
Boy, it shows you how important that Klein telling Monroe to cut that baseball, because now it would be 2-0 and there would still only be 1 out.
Yeah, because he would have scored easily. Would have Mason White. The put out of White goes 7-1-6-5. If you're scoring at home. 7-5 something. Anyway, I don't write that small anymore. So here is Garen Caulfield. Mikalakis at first, Guzman at third. A run is in, and now time is being called. Our home plate umpire is coming out, and he wants to look at the baseball and exchange baseball.
Okay.
I think he's signaling. What was he doing?
He signaled that Eberle went to his mouth.
Yeah, good alertness by Clint Fagan, watching behind home plate. So they exchange baseballs, and now here's Caulfield. Chance for Arizona to get another run here, and the pitch is on the inside corner for a strike.
Yeah, and not a big deal. Fagan didn't throw that baseball out. He just put it back in his...
Just wipe it off on your pant leg. Hand it back.
Yeah, just put it right back in the ball bag.
It's always funny how they'll take a ball out of play, but then they'll put it right back into play maybe 5 or 6 balls later. This one breaks outside, and it's 1-1. A struggle here in the first inning for Ethan Eberle. He's hit 2 batters. He's now given up 2 singles and a run. First and third, 2 out. If it not for the base running mistake by White, Arizona would have 2 runs on the board. This one's going to be skied in the air, but foul. And into the seats. Ooh, grazed right off of the scoreboard that's along the rim of the upper deck and hit somebody in the back down in the lower bowl. If you're sitting in the lower bowl, you got to watch out. The ball can come back down on you if someone upstairs doesn't catch it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch by Eberle is hit on the ground and through the right side, a base hit. 1 run is in. Mikalakis will stop at second. It's an RBI single for Caulfield, and it's a 2-0 Wildcat lead.
And that just simply Davis has to hold the runner on at first base so that right side of the infield is wide open. And that pitch, now Eberle was trying to work away, and he came up inside. And a good piece of hitting. There have been a series of really good, smart at-bats by Arizona. And it's going to force Roger Williams, the 19-year pitching coach for Louisville, to make a trip out here to talk to his freshman in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, Gary did a nice job of turning that swing inside out and going to the opposite field. And for Garen Caulfield, it'll be his 45th run driven in this year, his 4th of this NCAA tournament. And not only does this meeting serve the purpose of trying to settle down the young freshman, but also to allow time to populate the left field bullpen as 7 or 8, maybe 9 uniformed Louisville players and or coaches start to run down to the bullpen.
Boy, how many times now into the 3rd day of this series have we seen a pitcher get unraveled by hitting a batter?
It's happened a lot. Happened last night to Arkansas. Andrew Kane trying to extend the damage. 2-0 Arizona here in the first. The lefty deals, and here's a slow roller out to second. Picked up by Neighbors. He'll feed to first, and that will retire the side. But in the inning, 2 runs on 3 hits and 2 men left. So Louisville comes to the plate already trailing 2-0. Our first inning presented by Omni Partners. Shop Westwood Plaza for all your summer needs. 120th and Center, managed by Omni Partners from 1620 The Zone and the NCAA Radio Network. This is the Men's College World Series.
Baseball and ice cream go together like fireworks in the 4th of July. I mean, on any given night during the summer, you're bound to run into a team of little leaguers getting ice cream after their game, win or lose. So before you head home after the game, head over to Ted & Wally's Ultra Premium Ice Cream and pick up your flavor. They serve more than 3,000 of them. Keep track of the daily specials on social media. Celebrating more than 35 years. Ted & Wally's Ultra Premium Ice Cream. Benson, Old Market, and at tedandwallys.com.
Security equipment makes sure you're always safe at home or when you're away. SEI gives you time to focus on what really matters. Whether it's your home or business, we protect life and property with all of the latest Honeywell home and First Alert products by monitoring for security, fire, carbon monoxide, flood, and temperature 24/7, 365. We provide peace of mind by connecting services like security, video, automation, and access control in one system. Visit SEIsecurity.com to set up a free consultation. SEI is a First Alert Premier Pro partner.
IBEW Local 22 is hiring. Join a dynamic team offering opportunities in all classifications, low voltage, residential, and commercial. Whether you're an experienced journeyman or have no experience, they'll train you. Enjoy great pay, fully funded medical benefits, and a solid retirement plan. IBEW Local 22 is your gateway to a rewarding career in Omaha. Don't miss the chance to build your future. Call Mike at 402-810-0789. That's 402-810-0789.
Now back to the Patera Landscaping broadcast booth at Charles Schwab Field for more of the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and Westwood One. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
Well, an early Sunday present for Smith Bailey, the freshman starter for Arizona. He gets 2 runs before he ever has to throw a pitch in anger. And as Bailey completes his windup tosses here in the bottom of the first, let's head down near the Arizona dugout. Connor Happer.
Thanks, John. Yeah, in the Arizona dugout today, and they've been having it really all season long, bananas. In this case, 15 packs of bananas that are occasionally used to make banana crowns. So when Arizona gets their runs at the top of the first inning, the bananas come out and they start showing them to the crowd, and then the crowd goes bananas. This update is presented by Tickets for Less, best seats, best prices. No service fees, ticketsforless.com.
First pitch swinging, and Alisea lifts one high in the air, shallow left field in left center. Breifogel makes the catch, and there's quickly one out here in the first.
So this is a tradition that has been going on at Arizona for a while, and they have to have at least 100 bananas. So it started as whenever they needed a rally or they scored, people would grab a banana. Now they also can consume it for energy and potassium, that kind of stuff. But as Connor was alluding to, now it has taken on a form of its own.
Connor Happer gets the first score for the first dad joke of Father's Day. And the crowd goes bananas.
But do they get mushy in this heat?
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
Mushy?
Moore takes a strike.
I think it could be mushy, right?
Mushy? Maybe mushy. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Lucas Moore. You know, they say that the best banana bread is made from the bananas that get a little mushy.
Oh.
I wonder after they get worn on the head, are they still good for banana bread? There's a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2 on Lucas Moore.
Those bananas you throw in the freezer and they're black. Those are the best for banana bread or banana cream pie.
I'm a big fan of banana cream pie. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's Moore, and the pitch is fouled out of play. Trying to get Moore started. Just good catch by a fan. Just a 188 average for Lucas Moore in the NCAA tournament for a young man who's been hitting north of 350 all season long and is the nation's stolen base leader. But you can't steal a base unless you get on base. Trying to get on base, spraying it foul opposite side. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Smith Bailey, fastball curve and a changeup will be his repertoire today. Big 12 all-freshman team for Smith Bailey this year. 1-2 is outside 2-2. Technically, isn't anybody who is from Arizona or any of the other new schools to the Big 12, wouldn't they all be on the Big 12 all-freshman team if they were so lucky? I mean, first year in the conference. The 2-2, and he takes a called strike 3, trying to bend at the knees and pray that that ball didn't hit the outside corner, but the slider did right on the outer edge. And a strikeout for Smith Bailey, and there's 2 away here in the Cardinal first. 2-0 in favor of Arizona. Our first inning presented by Omni Partners. Shop Westwood Plaza for all your summer needs. 120th and Center, managed by Omni Partners. Here is Matt Klein. And he takes a strike. Fastball right over the heart of the plate. As Klein has gone, this team has gone this year. The 0-1. Breaking ball just missing. Started the first month of the season and was hitting .342 and had already driven in 26 runs in the first 22 games when his season was cut down by a broken bone in his hand as he fouls this one off. It's 1-2. He finally came back and started his first game against East Tennessee in the Nashville Regional. Moore has reached base in every postseason game thus far since his return. And he lifts this one high in the air. Left center field. Breifogel waiting. Makes the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Smith Bailey and Arizona. We head to the second. It's Arizona 2, Louisville nothing. In association with 1620 The Zone, you're listening to the Men's College World Series on the NCAA Radio Network.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Sevilla for KRT Athletic Muscle Cream. On the field, every second counts, whether you're warming up, cooling down, or battling cramps mid-game. Trusted by elite athletes, KRT delivers fast, targeted relief. Use it pre-workout to boost muscle endurance, post-workout to speed muscle recovery. KRT is all natural, hormone-free, and WADA compliant. Visit KRTrelief.com to get yours today. KRT Athletic Muscle Cream. Stay in the game.
An estimated 80% of Americans aren't getting their recommended daily amount of physical activity. It's time to move and keep moving, America. And when you need help, physical therapists and physical therapist assistants are by your side. Be your own champion. Choose more movement. Choose better health. Choose physical therapy. Find out more information and a physical therapist at choosept.com/NE. Brought to you by the American Physical Therapy Association of Nebraska.
If you're looking for live and local, check out 1620 The Zone. Live and local from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. with Gary and Matt.
Nebraska is built like the F-150. And you know what? They're trying to be the Toyota RAV4.
The Connor Happer Show.
You never know where we might be on any given day. All across the country, 1620 The Zone will be.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Sorry we're awesome. Sorry we're great and our listeners are smart. Yeah, and handsome.
1620 The Zone, an NRG media station.
Welcome back to the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
This is Chip Hale, head coach at the University of Arizona Wildcats. I just want to wish all the fathers out there a great Father's Day, and we know how important you guys are to these kids and playing catch with us from the time we were young kids, and I had the opportunity to do it with my boys. So happy Father's Day.
Thanks, Coach. Top of the second. We extend our Father's Day wishes as well. Tommy Splain to lead things off. It's 2-0 in favor of Arizona. And the first pitch by Eberle in for a strike. Splain hitting .462 in this tournament, .294 this season. 3 of his 5 home runs this year have been hit in the postseason. Here's the 0-1. And the slider misses just a little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Is it have a catch or play catch? You might as well start that debate early.
I've always said play catch. The only time I ever heard have a catch was in the movie Field of Dreams. And I wonder if that was something, as the pitch is in there for a strike, if that was a ad-lib from Kevin Costner. Have a catch. It's always been play catch. Have a catch sounds like you're sharing your fishing haul for the day. The 1-2 is down the line, and wow, foul ball. That looked like it went over the bag. But the call made by Casey Mosier down at third base, that looked like a fair ball.
Well, he's got it.
He's got a better angle than I do.
And when it comes to the bag, so he's standing right there, but it looked awfully close. So whatever, if you want to have a catch or play catch, there were quite a few dads and their sons playing catch out in the parking lots throughout downtown Omaha today.
Yes, there were. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Splain. Eberle's pitch, and again trying to go down that third base line. He pulls it foul into the stands. That slider broke in. He opened up his hips and was well out in front. Just a little too out in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Splain, the senior, a 4-year contributor to Arizona. You don't hear as much of that as we used to in college athletics. The 1-2, and that one is foul. Just checked his swing and got a piece of it. Hit off Matt Klein's protective gear and bounced away. Splain was the hero last year in the Pac-12 tournament. This is a team that has won consecutive conference tournaments, Arizona. This one's lined the opposite way, foul. Last year, Pac-12 tournament champions. This year, Big 12 tournament champions.
Remember, for the longest time, the Pac-12 did not have a postseason tournament.
They were like the last holdout.
Yeah, so while everybody was playing conference tournaments, they were having their regular season weekend.
And it's been about 10-ish years since they went to the conference tournament. And now they're on pause. This one's looped towards left field. Coming on is Rose, and he's not going to have a play. He's just going to have to play it on a hop. Good at bat by Tommy Splain as he fouled off a number of pitches from Ethan Eberle, and he delivers the 4th hit of the afternoon for the Wildcats as Splain leads off the second with a single. So the leadoff batter aboard for Easton Breyfogle. Spelled Breyfogle. Considered one of the fastest players in the program. And we mentioned his father, Todd, earlier as part of the starting lineups. Former Kansas Jayhawk. Was picked in the 1989 Major League Baseball draft. In the 55th round, when the baseball draft went that far. Here's Breyfogle. Takes a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Breyfogle went 0 for 3 in the opener 2 days ago. Left-handed hitter from Edina, Minnesota. The pitch. Fastball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Activity has started to murmur out in the left field bullpen for the Cardinals. It's do or die today for both of these teams. Loser goes home. The 2-1 pitch is fouled back by Breyfogle. This was the #1 overall prospect from Minnesota, Easton Breyfogle. Left the state to head down south and play for Chip Hale in Arizona. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Quite a bit of room down the third base line. Not quite a complete shift, but the third baseman Monroe playing well off the bag, basically playing deep short. This one is swung on and fouled off. Would not expect to see Tommy Splain moving here. He's 0 for 1 this year in stolen bases, but you never know. Do or die day, maybe you turn a runner going, get a runner going, and hope for a little hit and run contact. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, runner on, 2-0. Arizona, top of the second. The pitch is hit on the ground up the middle. Nice play at second, flip to second for 1, on to first, a double play. Kamayu Neighbors with a beautiful pick and a backhand feed to Alisea, whose throw was just in the nick of time to get Breyfogle, again one of the fastest players on the team, a nifty 4.63 twin killing.
Great play by Neighbors on the backhand, and his momentum going towards second base, and those two have worked together for a long time, and just the flip and the turn, but Neighbors ranging to his right, and we saw he made a lot of plays at second base the other night, but that one is one of his better ones, and it won't go down as like the play, but it's an important play to keep the Wildcats at bay here in the second.
So now base is empty, 2 out for Summerhill, and he grounds this one foul wide of first. Summerhill, who struck out to lead off the game, but then Walton and White were hit by pitches. Guzman delivered an RBI single. White was cut down trying to advance to third on the play. But Mikalakis followed with a single, and Caulfield followed with an RBI single, and that's where we stand right now, 2-0 here in the top of the second. The pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Brendan Summerhill lost 21 games earlier this season because of a broken hand. And it was a self-inflicted wound as he was angry at something that had happened and punched a cooler. Going to go the opposite way, and it's popped up into foul ground, giving chase.
Wow.
And that was a long run. A long run to get there, and Neighbors almost came up. Was that
Alisea?
That's Alisea. Sorry, Alisea. They had pulled the shift on 2 strikes, Gary, and that's why that ball wasn't a routine play in foul ground behind third.
So Alisea is at shortstop, from where he normally stands. He's over to his right. He's closer to the bag at second. He had to go on a dead sprint and almost caught up to that foul ball.
But because the shift was on, the third baseman Monroe, who's actually playing more of a traditional second base position, was not over there to make the catch. 1-2 now the count. on Summerhill.
But there's also part of that shift. So if you're Eberle, you're going to try and jam the left-handed hitter because you want him to hit it into the shift. He was throwing it on the outside part of the plate. It was actually a good adjustment in the middle of the pitch by Summerhill because he was trying to golf it down the left field line or down the line at third base where there was a lot of room, and he could have easily had a double.
The 1-2, and he's going to go the opposite way. It's on a line, diving and making the catch. Zion Rose diving in front of him and steals away a base hit from Brendan Summerhill. So put a star next to two defensive plays in this inning. The double play turned by Neighbors and the catch by Rose. And we head to the bottom of the second. We'll see if their defense will spark a little offense. It is 2-0 Arizona. From 1620 The Zone and the NCAA Radio Network, this is the Men's College World Series.
Attention baseball fans! Are you ready for the ultimate college baseball experience? The series is back in Omaha, and Tickets for Less is your home whether you're looking to buy or sell your tickets. With Tickets for Less, you can buy and sell tickets 3 ways. Go to ticketsforless.com to find out more. Shop the best seats at the best prices with no service fees. And save now with promo code THEZONE at ticketsforless.com. Ticketsforless.com is not an official ticket reseller of the NCAA Men's College World Series.
Since this is a radio commercial, you can't see the people standing behind me. They're the Langfeld family. Everybody wave. Oh, sorry, you can't see them because radio. Anyway, the Langfelds are the family behind Langfeld Overhead Door, where they proudly install Midland garage doors to fit any space and style. And they don't take a backseat to anyone when it comes to their service. Because if something goes wrong, it's their name on the line. So they're going to make sure it goes right every single time. Langfeld Overhead Door, 402-234-2700.
At Rotella's Italian Bakery, they put unsurpassed product quality into everything they bake. Old world skill and experience are masterfully blended with modern efficiencies to create the delicious breads, rolls, hamburger and hot dog buns, and other specialty products that have delighted their customers since 1921. Combining customer satisfaction with uncompromising quality is their goal. Rotella's Italian Bakery, a century of pride in every slice. To see the full menu of products, visit rotellasbakery.com.
Now back to the Patera Landscaping broadcast booth at Charles Schwab Field for more of the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and Westwood One. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
Hey guys, Dan McDonald from the Louisville Cardinals. I want to wish everybody a very happy Father's Day. Go Cards.
Thanks, Coach. And on the first pitch, Jake Monroe delivers a single into center field for the first hit of the day for Louisville. And Coach McDonald's Cardinals, as they finally get a base runner here. We're in the second. It's 2-0 Arizona, our second inning, powered by Orsi's Italian Bakery and Pizzeria, celebrating over 100 years in business, located on the corner of 7th and Pacific.
Let's see if their offense gets buoyed a little bit by that defense. That was an exceptional top half of this inning in the field for Louisville at second base with Neighbors and in left field with Rose.
Here's Eddie King. He has been the best hitter in this postseason for Louisville, and he on the first pitch delivers a line drive into left. And it's played off a bounce by Breifogel for a base hit. So one good hit deserves another, and it's first and second, and here comes Louisville.
Yeah, that's a fastball that is going to pop you at about 96, so either you're going to sit on the fastball or you're going to wait for the breaking stuff, but maybe a little bit of an adjustment. First two guys have swung at the first pitch, and again, it's just one of those things. Now Louisville's got runners on base, and Monroe and King Jr. are not the two particular guys that are going to start stealing bases, but you're down 2-0. But it gives Dan McDonald, he not only likes to steal bases, but he also likes to generate runs, a little hit and run, some other things they might do here with Teg Davis.
Teg Davis at the plate, and he takes low and inside. Davis, 1 for 3, did drive in a run in the loss on Friday night. Hitting .287 this year, 18 home runs. And 51 runs driven in. First and second, first two men aboard here for Louisville in the second. The pitch, and this one is hit pretty hard, but it's going to be right at the right fielder, Summerhill, who will make the catch. Monroe will tag and head to third. That ball, 115 miles an hour off the bat. I'm pretty sure that is the hardest hit ball we have seen this week at the Men's College World Series, but unfortunately, it was right at Brendan Summerhill.
Yeah, people are asking, is that good?
That's really good.
115 off the bat?
Oh, with these bats, absolutely.
Are we in Jack Caglione territory with the velo off the bat?
He's what? He was what, 121 or something like that? Something ridiculous. Of course, veteran of this event.
So he has already hit a ball in the majors with the Royals at 114 off the bat using a regular wood.
Okay.
So that gives you a little bit of comparison how hard that ball was just hit in the air.
Here's Zion Rose, first and third, and this one's rolled up the middle. It's going to be smothered at short, trying to flip to second. They'll get the out. Mason White dove on the ground, knocked the ball down, and rolling over just kind of threw the ball up in the air. Caulfield made the catch. They get the force out at second. Scoring is Monroe. It's now 2-1 Arizona. So it'll be a fielder's choice and an RBI for Zion Rose, and here's Garrett Pike. And Pike takes outside for a ball. Initially, it looked like that ball was going to get back into center field, but White did a nice job of knocking it down, and then for a moment, he's kind of fumbling around with it, and then finally got it away, and Caulfield was able to corral it to at least get one out. But scoring on the play was Monroe, and now there's two away with a runner at first. Garrett Pike swings and lifts one in the air. Foul ground behind third, giving chase Mikalakis. He is there on the track, makes the catch. And that will retire the side. So an early threat does yield a run on two hits, but they leave one, and Arizona still has the lead after two. But it is now 2-1 Arizona over Louisville. Our second inning was powered by Orsi's Italian Bakery and Pizzeria, celebrating over 100 years in business, located on the corner of 7th and Pacific. In association with 1620 The Zone, you're listening to the Men's College World Series on the NCAA Radio Network.
Curveballs belong in baseball, not your bank. When you choose Access Bank for your personal or commercial banking needs, you'll know what to expect every time. Personalized, all-in-one service from experts who know banking and the Omaha Metro. Access Bank has convenient branch locations and easy online solutions. Because we're here for a reason, to make your experience a home run. Learn more at accessbank.com. Member FDIC.
Life gets hectic, and that can pull away from your wellness goals. So when you finally focus on your health, why get lost in a sea of impersonal options? Discover No Name Nutrition, your family-owned health food haven. With personalized service, we'll guide you to the best choices for your journey. 2 convenient locations in Omaha, ready to support your well-being. No Name Nutrition, proudly fostering healthier lives. Visit nonamenutrition.com today, 144th and Center, or North 72nd Street.
Imagine being part of a team, working together to help children find their inner strength. You can by joining the team at the new Behavioral Health and Wellness Center at Children's Nebraska, a first-of-its-kind facility where you will contribute to a movement to nurture the mental well-being of kids and families. Become part of our people-first culture and provide hope where it's needed most. Apply today at childrensnebraska.org/wearehiringhope.
Welcome back to the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
Top of the third here at Charles Schwab Field in Omaha. It's Arizona 2 with 4 hits, no errors. At Louisville with 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. Our scoreboard presented by Langfeld Overhead Door. For your professional garage repair and installation needs, langfelddoors.com. It'll be Walton White and Guzman here. Second time through the order now for Ethan Eberle, and this was the part of the order that caused him problems in the first. 5 straight men reached before he was able to escape more damage. It's 2-1 Arizona. And the first pitch to Walton is Outside of the zone, ball one. Our third inning presented by Fernando's. For over 30 years, your choice for traditional Mexican dining. Get your Fernando's fix with 2 Omaha locations. 1 ball, no strikes. Eberle deals, and the slider misses low, and he's quickly down. 2 balls and no strikes. Going to put the shift on even with a 2-ball count here. Here it is, and expecting him to pull, and boy did he pull one, but he hits it deep and over the upper deck and out by the concourse. That one was 102 off the bat. But a foul ball. 2 balls and a strike as the clouds start to take over a little bit here at Charles Schwab Field. Not expecting any rain today. But there's a lot of room on the right side of the infield. The 2-1. Misses inside. 3 balls and a strike, so Walton trying to draw another walk or hit batter. He's been walked twice and he's been hit once in this College World Series thus far. The 3-1. Swinging away. High pop-up, foul, and down below us. Crowd has filled in a little bit more since we started, but as you would expect on a warmer day, a lot of people probably underneath the overhang in the concourse area just milling about. You can walk all the way around this ballpark, 360 degrees, if you so choose. Get in your steps. 3-2. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Walton thought he had drawn ball 4. And the track man agrees with home plate umpire Clint Fagan. He just nicked the inside corner with the 87-mile-an-hour fastball, and that'll be the second strikeout of the day for Eberle.
Yeah, you know, John, because you would love this. If we had challenges in college baseball, that challenge would have been unsuccessful.
Sounds like they're going that way.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Next year. Not this year, next year. In Major League Baseball.
Yes. I don't think we're going to see it in college.
No. Needed technology everywhere. Here's a high pop-up, foul ground. That should reach the seats, and it will, from Mason White. Are you a fan of robo-ump or no robo-ump?
Well,
if you are a fan of robo-ump, which one?
I'm a fan of the challenges.
I agree.
I think the challenges have gone well. We see a lot of AAA baseball in this city with the Omaha Storm Chasers, the AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals, and you wouldn't even know it. And it's worked smoothly, and we saw in spring training in the majors it did as well.
The 0-1, swing and a miss. Boy, he was fooled on that slow slider delivered by Eberle, and you could tell by the half-hearted swing. And now the shift moves on. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on, top of the third. 2-1 Arizona. And the pitch, swing and a miss. He got him again. Same pitch, same result. And Mason White trudges back to the dugout. Third strikeout now for Ethan Eberle, who seems to have settled in. That double play and catch at the end of the second inning might have been just the thing to kickstart Eberle's day. So now 2 out for Adonis Guzman, who has 4 hits already in this tournament. He's 4 for 5. And the pitch is cut on and missed. Guzman, RBI single in the first. Now up to 43 runs driven in. One of the folks from New York State, Valley College. He actually started at Boston College before making the move to the American Southwest. Another swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Scary mentioned the other day his dad ran a pizza shop just outside of Yankee Stadium. Wrong dad. The Engels is Adonis's father. This one is low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'm guessing it was New York-style pizza that they served there.
They eat a little Chicago, little tavern style, little Detroit style.
They should have every variety there. It's the biggest city in America. Can't all be New York style. Here's the 1-2. Just missed. Oh, boy. Eberle, Davis, Neighbors, and Alisea all started moving towards the third base dugout. They thought they had a strike. The TrackMan agrees, but the home plate umpire has the ultimate decision, and Clint Fagan said, nope, too low for my taste. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And this one swung on, hit pretty well. Rose going back, deep into left field. That ball is gone! The 9th home run of the year for Adonis Guzman. His 5th hit of this Men's College World Series. And bookmark that non-called strike 3, because on the next pitch, Adonis Guzman sends one deep into left field. 398 feet, and it's 3-1 Arizona.
He crushed that baseball over the back of the bullpen in the front row above the bullpen in left field. He's had himself a nice little series now, 5 of 6.
And Mikalakis swings at the first pitch and misses.
But you were mentioning that miscalled strike 3, the Louisville dugout with Roger Williams did not miss it. The look of disgust and some words that came out of the dugout after the ball was hit off the bat of Guzman.
Here's the 0-1, and this one's lined pretty hard into the seats and out of play. Our 3rd home run of this Men's College World Series, and you're always safe at home, presented by SEI. You're always safe with a security solution from Security Equipment Incorporated. That is I don't remember, how long was the Robinette home run yesterday? I think that one with Guzman is the longest one we've had. There's a swing and a miss, and that will be strike 3. So he does strike out 3 batters in the frame, but in between, Adonis Guzman sends one out of the ballpark and adds a run to Arizona's lead. The score is now Arizona 3 and Louisville 1. Our 3rd inning presented by Fernando's. For over 30 years, your choice for traditional Mexican dining. Get your Fernando's fix with 2 Omaha locations. From 1620 The Zone and the NCAA Radio Network, this is the Men's College World Series.
He thinks bean counting is an iPhone app. He is the most uninteresting man in the world.
Hi, I'm Bob Berger. Don't just get your taxes done, get them managed. If you're tired of losing sleep over your business and personal taxes, you're ready to make more money, give us a call.
Call Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard CPAs at 402-551-1919 or visit BEPCPA.com.
It's time to make a game plan for game day parking. During big events, curbside parking in Omaha has a higher event rate. So save money for peanuts and Cracker Jack by parking in a garage or surface lot. You can even reserve an off-street parking space days, hours, or minutes in advance with the Park mobile app. Learn more about where to park and how to pay at parkomaha.com.
Make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the roofery.
When it's time to replace or repair storm damage, make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the local, trusted, and proven choice. No one has installed more DaVinci roofs, and there's a reason why John Higgins Weather Guard is the nation's leader. Community member, community supporter. Make the right call.
John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the rooferys. Make the right call.
Now back to the Patera Landscaping broadcast booth at Charles Schwab Field for more of the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and Westwood One. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
3-1 in favor of Arizona as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Louisville got that run in the 2nd, but an Adonis Guzman home run has erased that run scored by Louisville, so now it's back to work with Neighbors, Alisea, and Moore. And the first pitch is bounced low. Let's check in with Connor Happer.
John, thanks. I'm out here in the Arizona bullpen. You know, it's hard to walk around this ballpark, whether it's in the concourse or looking out from the field, without seeing a group of kids who are wearing their youth baseball uniforms. You see them all across the stadium and all across town this time of year. The other thing is they're always asking for baseballs and they're always asking for autographs. Murray State's Dustin Mercer yesterday had maybe the quote that summed it all up, as that one's outside. It's baseball heaven, talking about Omaha. I've never felt famous until I got here. As this update is presented by Tickets for Less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees at ticketsforless.com.
Is that you sitting way out there by yourself in the bullpen? There's a strike.
That's right. Hi, guys.
Yeah. All by himself.
Nice shade out here.
It is good shade. That's actually a good place for you to be after what happened on day one. 3 balls and a strike to Kamayu Neighbors, the pitch. And there's a strike at 92.
You redheads.
Well, listen, if you put your sunscreen on and you put it on the right way, then you're not going to have these problems. Here's the 3-2. And this one's lined up the middle, past the diving shortstop White and into center field for a base hit. They had pulled the shift on and moved White to the right of second base. He went back towards second to try to knock that down and doesn't. And that's a leadoff base hit for Kamayu Neighbors.
There was another thing that Dan Skirka said afterwards when they were talking about Murray State, that you heard a audible gasp in the press conference room. He told everybody, and Murray State's ballpark only seats 800. They don't charge admission for games at Murray State.
You may have to change that next year.
Yeah, I imagine they're going to sell some season tickets.
I would hope so. Anytime you have success like this. Here's Alisea. Flew out to lead off the game in the first. 3-1 in favor of Arizona as they make another throw over. Kamayu Neighbors this year, 13 of 15. So here is an opportunity for Dan McDonnell to quote the late, great Richard Dawson. It's time to start running. And a snap throw to first after the pitch was low, and it is safe. Pitch was low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. That first running man. Listen, this is 4 days in. That's the first running man reference we've had all week.
So officially not a dad joke.
No, that's not a dad joke. That's the line from a great movie from 1987 called The Running Man, which somehow they think is a good idea that we're going to remake it. You don't remake a movie without Richard Dawson. 1 ball and no strikes. The pitch is bounced up the middle. Could be 2. Flip to second for 1. A relay to first. Safe. It was in the dirt. And Splain dug it out. But I think he juggled it as he was digging it out. And as a result, Alisea is safe at first. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification in association with Westwood One. This is the NCAA Radio Network. John Bishop, Connor Happer, Gary Sharp, producer Nick Grimm on this Father's Day. 3-1 in favor of Arizona, and another throw over to first. This time it's Alisea who's going to get the attention. There's 1 away with a 3-1 Arizona lead. And here's Lucas Moore again trying to jumpstart his postseason. He's hitting under 200. Swung on and missed. Boy, he looked like he was fooled there on that breaking ball by Smith Bailey. And we've seen him do it a lot this week, Gary, taking pitches and kind of bending down at the knees as if to shrink his strike zone in hopes that the umpire won't call a strike. He got called out on strikes in the first. Safe. Snap throw to first again, and Alisea backed safely, but that was a close play over at first. That was Smith Bailey, the right-hander, a little bit more of aggressive lead over there at first, and he'll draw another throw.
They haven't played with a lead where I think that really stresses you when Louisville can get their running game cranked up.
Alisea with 30 stolen bases. He would lead any other team in the country, but not this one. Breaking ball, and again, Moore bending his knees down, hoping that strike wouldn't be called, and it was, and it's now 0-2. You have 3 players on this team with 30 or more stolen bases. One of them's at the plate, the other one's on first, but now it's 0-2. The pitch, and this one's turned on and hit towards center, but Walton has a lot of room in center field, and he'll make the catch. Alicea is going to tag, but not advance. He'll move back to first. 2 outs now in the third. Our third inning presented by Fernando's. For over 30 years, your choice for traditional Mexican dining. Get your Fernando's fix at 2 Omaha locations. Here's Matt Klein. Flew out to left his last time up. And again, they'll throw over to first. Alicea has not shown any signs that he's taking off. He is taking a pretty healthy lead. We definitely know who's going to cover the throw if there's an attempt at second, because the second baseman Caulfield is playing in shallow right field. Shift is on for Klein. And he takes the breaking ball outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Klein now 1 for 6 here in Omaha with 2 strikeouts. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Swung over the top. It's now 1-1. Pause by Bailey and another throw over to first. And if that throw is a little lower, he might have had Alicea. It was a little high, and it forced Splain to kind of come off the bag and reach over the back of Alicea, who immediately jumps out to a big lead and now takes off. Pitches in for a strike. Play at second. Safe. White thought he had gotten the tag down and had started to move towards the dugout, and now he is signaling towards the Arizona dugout. I think we should review this one. And I thought the throw might have had him, Gary.
That was a great throw by Guzman, and I think the slide by Alicea with the right hand, because the swipe tag from White went right to the upper part of his left body, and he got in there.
And they're not going to challenge. So they're not taking White's advice. He used that little swim move slide to the outside of the bag. The count is 1-2, now 2-2 as the pitch misses outside. He used that little swim move where he just kind of lifts up the left arm and kind of leans his body over to get to the back of the bag and get away from the tag, and it was just enough to beat the wrap. It's 2-2 with 2 out. The pitch, chop foul. Klein trying to come up with a 2-out RBI here. Klein this season is hitting .343 with 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bailey will look back to second in the pitch, and the fastball is up at 95. That's probably his best fastball of the day in terms of velocity, but it missed up in the zone, and it's now 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. Popped up, foul ground, twisting towards the stands. It'll reach the stands and about 7 or 8 rows deep, where someone made a nice catch. And has either a Father's Day gift or a Father's Day prize for himself. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Another payoff pitch, and this one's lined towards the alley. Coming on is Breifogel, dives and makes the catch. Oh, what a play by Easton Breifogel as he stole away an RBI from Matt Klein and preserves an Arizona 3-1 lead in the inning. No runs, 1 hit and 1 lift, and 1 sparkling defensive play in left field. In association with 1620 The Zone, you're listening to the Men's College World Series on the NCAA Radio Network.
It's the bottom of the ninth. The sun's blazing and your home feels like a sauna. Don't sweat it. Skradsky Heating and Cooling is stepping up to the plate. Family owned and operated, Skradsky has been knocking summer heat out of the park for more than 70 years. Whether it's AC repair, replacement, or a full system tune-up, Skradsky brings the cool when it counts. Click heatomaha.com today to beat the heat before it steals home. Skradsky Heating and Cooling, your hometown MVP for comfort.
It's NCAA championship time. Fans of the hustle? Present. Fans of the heart? Present. Fans of the flash, grit, and grind? Present. The best fans in the lands are bringing everything they got for their team. Be there when your squad hoists the ultimate trophy overhead. The NCAA championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
Now through July 7th, take advantage of exclusive employee pricing at Woodhouse Ford. For a limited time, you pay what we pay on our full lineup of new Ford models. No exceptions, just straightforward savings. Whether you're looking for a rugged F-150, a versatile Bronco, or a dependable Escape, our friendly, knowledgeable staff are here to find the perfect vehicle for you. View our offers online or shop in-store at one of the Woodhouse Ford dealerships located in Blair, Omaha, and Plattsmouth.
Welcome back to the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
Happy Father's Day from Charles Schwab Field. We got baseball on the radio to accompany your grilling, lawn mowing, and even your afternoon napping. Happy Father's Day, everybody. All the dads that are out there as we travel to the fourth inning. Arizona 3-1 over Louisville in a winner. Move on, loser go home. It's an elimination game on Father's Day Sunday. Garen Caulfield, who has put the Arizona uniform on now for 231 games, takes the first pitch from Eberle in there for a strike. The big tall drink of water, the left-hander for the Cardinal. He's given up 3 runs, struck out 4. Did give up the Guzman home run. The pitch is on the way, and Caulfield looks at it low for a ball. Later tonight, winners bracket game. Coastal Carolina, the hottest team in college baseball. They've won 24 in a row, 54 overall. They take on Oregon State. Tomorrow afternoon's elimination game, Arkansas and Murray State. Eberle, the starter, he works from the stretch, kicks and deals, and that big frame whips a fastball up in the zone. Now 2 balls and a strike. The winners bracket game tomorrow night, LSU and UCLA. And LSU media reporting that Paul Skeens will be in attendance tomorrow night. The Pittsburgh Pirate stellar right-hander on an off day for the Buccos is going to be here in Omaha, according to reports from Louisiana. This pitch misses to Caulfield. Now the count is 3 balls and a strike. So Skeens, who was the key cog on that 23 national championship team. The last, John and I were talking about this before the game, we believe the last active major leaguer to come to the College World Series, as Caulfield taps it right back to the mound, and Eberle will snare it, turn, and fire over to first for out number 1, was David Price. When he was pitching for the Tampa Bay Rays, came and watched his former head coach and his alma mater, Tim Corbin, with Vanderbilt in 2015.
Yeah, it usually just doesn't work out very well based on schedules and proximity. Obviously, Kansas City's the closest major league town, but if you can find an off day, and the Pirates are in Chicago right now, so it's a quick flight over, and with the day off tomorrow, going to take advantage. It's really cool to see how much Paul Skeens still supports the school, which he was only at for a couple of years. Remember, he started in the Air Force.
Fourth inning presented by Cheeseburgers, takeout joint, homemade smash burgers, hot dogs, fried chicken, and more. Peace, love, and Cheeseburgers, 40th and Farnham. 1 out, bases empty, top of the 4th. Arizona leading Louisville 3-1. Eberle wearing those retro uniforms, and this pitch hit Kane. Came inside to the left-handed hitter. Kane tried to turn away from it, hit him on the backside, and he is aboard with 1 out here in the 4th. That is the 3rd Wildcat that Eberle has hit today. He hit 2 back-to-back, Walton and White in the 1st. Arizona put 2 on the board to begin the game, and then they added the Guzman home run in the 3rd. Now they have
Their first base runner of the fourth aboard for Tommy Splain, the number 8 hitter in the Chip Hale lineup. Splain singled, but then was erased by a double play ball back in the second. This has been a good start defensively on both sides. Davis holds Kane on at first. Eberle, the left-hander, will fire over, and Kane is back without a play. Two freshmen dueling on Elimination Day of the College World Series. Eberle for Louisville and Bailey for Arizona. 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors for the Wildcats. A run on 3 hits for the Cardinals, and another toss over to first base. Eberle is a high leverage arm for Dan McDonnell. Dan McDonnell, been the head coach of Louisville for 19 years. Done a really good job of recruiting in the Midwest. Eberle comes home with a pitch, and Splain drives this one into left field for a base hit. Kane up to second, play in front of him. He'll stop right there, and Arizona already up 2 runs in the fourth. Possibly looking for more, and if we get more runs, you will be safe at home. Presented by SEI. You're always safe with a security solution from Security Equipment Incorporated.
There's both right and left-handed activity in the Louisville bullpen.
Easton Breifogel grounded into that double play back in the second. Kane at second, Splain at first. And Eberle, who last time out, last weekend at home against Miami, went 5 innings, allowed only 2 Hurricane runs, struck out 3. But in that first inning, there was already some murmuring in the bullpen for the Cardinals. Here comes the first pitch to Breifogel, and he looks at it low for a ball, according to the home plate umpire, Clint Fagan.
This is going to be his 70th pitch, so you get the feeling it's almost going to be a batter-by-batter approach now.
Teams that score first so far in the College World Series, 4-0. The pitch is on the way. Swing and a miss. And that breaking pitch at 77 miles an hour, now a ball and a strike. Chip Hale, one of the rare head coaches that also still coaches. He's down on the third base box. Won a national championship in this town back in 1986, playing third base for the Wildcats. Jerry Kendall, the Hall of Famer, was his head coach. Runners at first and second, and Eberle motions towards second and lobs the ball to Aliceas. Kane was standing on the bag. But Chip Hale, wearing the same number he wore as a player, had an interesting career playing and managing and coaching. Been a manager in the majors with the Arizona Diamondbacks about a decade ago. Here's the pitch. Breifogel looks at it on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. And then Chip Hale has a World Series ring as a bench coach for the Washington Nationals when they won the World Series in 2019. So he's on a rare list of College World Series rings and a World Series ring. Here's the pitch. And Breifogel tried to check a swing, and he went around. And he is down, and that is a big, big strikeout with runners at first and second for the freshman Ethan Eberle. That is his 5th.
He threw him that slider, Gary. It was off the plate, and he just could not hold back. As we watch the replay from up here in the booth, and yeah, he just reached. It was a really good pitch because it looked like it had the plate, and it had some really good break on it. 17, almost 18 inches of horizontal break, and just nothing that Breifogel could do with it. He couldn't hold it up enough, and now here comes Dan McDonnell.
That appears to be it for Eberle. John did just mention the amount of pitches. This is an elimination game. The Cardinals are down 3-1, but now 2 out with 2 on in the fourth. And Dan McDonnell, slow walk out to the mound, and he will come and get his freshman. So the new pitcher for Louisville is on the way. And he walks into an interesting situation with Wildcats at first and second. 2 out, Arizona up 2. We're in the top of the fourth. We'll tell you more about this new Cardinal hurler in just a moment. This call to the bullpen is presented by Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, home of the Big Old Pizza and award-winning Char Buff Wings. We're back with more from Omaha, Nebraska after this.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is West Omaha's headquarters for specialty pizzas and award-winning char-buffed wings. Enjoy games on their updated video and audio system and huge LED wall. Their main location on 173rd and Center is the perfect place to beat the heat with family and friends for the college baseball tournament. They also have a second carryout location at 162nd and West Maple Street, featuring the same great pizzas and wings. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, home of the Big O Pizza and award-winning char-buffed wings.
If you're looking for live and local, check out 1620 The Zone. Live and local from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. with Gary and Matt.
Nebraska is built like the F-150. And you know what? They're trying to be the Toyota RAV4.
The Connor Happer Show.
You never know where we might be on any given day. All across the country, 1620 The Zone will be.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Sorry we're awesome. Sorry we're great and our listeners are smart.
Yeah, and handsome.
1620 The Zone, an NRG media station.
The new pitcher for the Cardinals here in the fourth, with Louisville trailing Arizona 3-1, is junior left-hander Wyatt Danielovich, who is from Traverse City, Michigan, which I'm sure is a busy place on Father's Day. Beautiful summer escape. Well, the product of that fine city in the state of Michigan is on for the 27th time this year. All have been out of the bullpen. 0-1, 3 saves, 2.25 ERA. He is a power pitcher. 32 innings. He has struck out 49. The opposition is only hitting 156 against him.
And he's had a good postseason so far, Gary. He's still not given up a hit in 5 innings. He has struck out 6. He's only allowed 1 base runner, a walk. So, staying with the left-hander but going with Danielovich shows how important this game is and how important this moment is, because with 2 outs, down by 2 runs, just get the feeling that you can't really afford to fall much further behind. It's not been a great offensive day, though we have seen a home run. It's been the free passes, though, that have been killer. Had 3 hit batters. By the way, that makes 12 for the series so far in 5 games. This feels like the hit-by-pitch World Series.
When you fall into the elimination game after losing your opening game, you've got to win 4 in a row. Here's Brendan Summerhill, and Arizona would like to get their talented outfielder going. He is just 1 for 7 in the series. He's 0 for 2 today. Lefty against lefty, with Kane at second and Splain at first, on a great day to watch baseball with Dad here at the Men's College World Series. And Danielovich turns and...
Why do pitchers feel the need, when they come off the mound, that they end up throwing? Are they so afraid they're going to get called for a balk?
I think just to settle them down. So now he'll work to Summerhill, and here comes the pitch. And it is up for a ball. Arizona, Connor on Friday told you about their travel schedule. Eugene, Oregon, to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, to Omaha, Nebraska. They were the first team to arrive. They don't want to be the first team to leave. Summerhill stands straight up and down in the box on the left side and swings at the pitch and fouls it straight back. Louisville, before they got into the postseason in the NCAA, they had lost 6 of 7. Remember, they had not been in the NCAA tournament the last 2 years. Matter of fact, it was the 2nd straight year. Very odd under the great successful Dan McDonnell. They weren't even ranked in the preseason. But now they're here and trying to stave off elimination as Summerhill fouls the pitch back into the upper deck here at Charles Schwab Field. Winner will take on either Coastal Carolina or Oregon State on Tuesday. Those 2 teams play tonight. That should be a dandy. This is bracket 1. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Danielovich in relief of Eberle here in the 4th, trying to get out of the 4th. Here's the pitch. It's upstairs and Summerhill holds on. The Chicago product takes it for a ball, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. They play Summerhill straight away in the outfield, the wind blowing in just slightly. 335 down the lines, 375 the big gaps, and 408 to straightaway center field. The pitch is on the way, and it's in there for a called strike 3. Danielovich at 90 miles an hour catches Summerhill looking, and the Wildcats strand 2 on just 1 base hit. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Arizona 3, Louisville 1. From 1620 The Zone to the NCAA Radio Network, this is the Men's College World Series.
Bankers Trust has the expertise to help you hit a financial home run. With special offers on checking and CD products, you'll be on your way to achieving your goals in no time. Their technology and products are designed to help you manage your finances anytime, anywhere. Visit their new full-service location at 192nd and Dodge today, or visit bankerstrust.com. Step up to a brighter financial future with Bankers Trust, where they'll help you hit your financial goals out of the park.
Twisted Thunder Fireworks is going to save you big money. You'll find the best variety and the lowest prices in the entire state of Nebraska. Don't believe us? See page after page of unique products and pricing online at twistedthunder.com, where you can watch all our items before you go to the tent. Go to twistedthunder.com to check out all our locations in Nebraska, as well as our location in Council Bluffs at the Horseshoe Casino. That's Twisted Works.
Got diamonds, gold, coins, fine watches. At Saul's Jewelry alone, we buy it all. Any size diamond, scrap or broken jewelry, estate jewelry, gold, platinum, collectible, and pre-1964 coins. Even bullion, silver flatware, and silver sets. With 6 metro locations open 7 days a week, no appointment necessary, and immediate payment, it's no wonder why more people choose Saul's. Because we pay more. Saul's Jewelry and Loan, where you get more.
Now back to the Patera Landscaping broadcast booth at Charles Schwab Field for more of the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and Westwood One. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
It is 3-1 Arizona, bottom of the fourth. Smith Bailey, the freshman, starts Jake Monroe off with a breaking pitch that Monroe, former junior college All-American who singled and scored his first time up, swings through for strike one. Elimination game, backs against the wall, Daniel Levitch in the top half of this inning, and this ball is hit in the air, playable near the line and left off the bat of Monroe, but it'll find its way just into the seats as Breifogel gave chase. But Daniel Levitch, with runners at first and second coming out of the bullpen, is able to strike out Summerhill. Now we go to the bottom of the fourth, which is brought to you by Cheeseburgers, a takeout joint, homemade smash burgers, hot dogs, fried chicken, and more. Peace, love, and cheeseburgers, 40th and Farnham. And now there is John's favorite part of the College World Series.
Who dat?
Right there on the warning track in left center field. Do not confuse the excitement that John has right now as a beach ball by Breifogel, who immediately becomes the left field bleacher's favorite player because instead of handing it to the groundskeeper, he threw the beach ball back into the stands, and now it's being bandied about.
You might get your scholarship canceled for that.
Smith Bailey, fastball up under the ear hole of Monroe, turning him away. Now a ball and a strike. Smith Bailey, son of Michael and Kim, he has a brother named Gray. He also has 2 nicknames that he goes by. You tell me which one you would like. Big Dog, and we should remind you that Smith Bailey is 6'4", or Big Seeds. He's into the wide. Here's the pitch, and it's tap foul at the plate. Now
Big
ball and 2
Seeds,
strikes.
definitely, because there's a lot of big dogs out there. Big Seeds. That's original. You don't hear that one very often.
We'll tell you the sky is the limit. They will also tell you that they think his height is off, that he has grown in his freshman year to 6'6". Fastball just misses.
Don't they have a tape measure?
Was that
they can remeasure?
Was he measured with shoes on or not?
You put lifts in, no lifts? What's going on?
He was the #1 right-handed pitcher coming out of the great state of Arizona in his pitch here, and he gets Monroe swinging. That is the second strikeout of the afternoon for the freshman Smith Bailey, and that's how we begin the Cardinal fourth with the Wildcats up 3-1. And here's Eddie King Jr. There's just certain players, John, in this lineup for Louisville that they have to get going. And Eddie King Jr., maybe that single back in the second is something that starts a big Sunday for him in Omaha. 360 hitter, and the first pitch from Smith Bailey misses away.
He had a really good regional and a first super regional game, and he's cooled off a little bit since then. But you're right, they really need to get him, they need to get more going.
This pitch way high. Eddie King Jr., monster NCAA tournament. Longest tenured member of the Cardinal. So he's worn this retro uniform, harkening back to the 1970s quite a bit, and a big swing and a miss on a curveball away from the right-handed hitter. Now, 2 balls and a strike. Just a gorgeous Sunday afternoon in Omaha, Nebraska. The Men's College World Series for the 75th year it's been in this town. And that's fastball misses. What a marriage it has been between the NCAA and Omaha, Nebraska, from Rosenblatt Stadium to this ballpark, which has had a couple of names, and a swing and a miss again. And boy, Smith Bailey is in quite a rhythm. Everything looks the same. Checks his wrist. Now he's got a chance to get Eddie King Jr. here on 3 balls and 2 strikes, and it's fouled off at the plate. When this ballpark opened, it was called TD Ameritrade. Now it is called Charles Schwab Field. There is the contract through 2035. And the pitch is up and in. And Eddie King Jr., pretty good at bat, John. He worked the count, and he works a walk with 1 out. That is the first walk of the afternoon by Smith Bailey. And that is presented by the American Heart Association. Walking is good for the heart. And if you're out and about walking today, dads, thank you for taking us along.
Pitch was just a little bit high, according to Clint Fagan. Trackman said it nicked the top of the zone. While we've had quite a few hit batters, we haven't had a ton of walks in this Men's College World Series.
Kind of mimics the peculiar and odd field that we have. Toss over to first base. Teg Davis flew out to right field his first time up. Davis is 1 for 4 in the series. Left-handed hitting first baseman for the Cardinal. King Jr. held on at first by Splain. Here's the pitch, and it's pulled foul outside of first. So, big dog or big seeds, Connor Happer?
Yeah, so I noticed that Smith Bailey, when I was out there in the bullpen, he apparently likes to mark his territory because behind the mound in the bullpen in right field, it's spelled out seeds. Probably with his finger, I would assume, but seeds on the back of the mound in the bullpen.
This pitch is hit well down the right field line. Will it stay fair? No. Into the seats.
As this update is presented by Tickets for Less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees, ticketsforless.com.
Thank you, Connor. I didn't know where we were going there at
I
the
didn't
beginning,
either.
if we were going big dog or big seeds, but now it all makes sense.
It all
Thank
makes
you, Connor.
sense. It's seeds.
Teg Davis has 18 home runs on the year. Here's the pitch, and he looks at it upstairs. Got to win 4 games if you're in the elimination game after your first outing to get to the championship series. But before you can get there, you got to win today to stave off elimination. Backs against the wall, and Bailey spins with his back to first base and fires over to first. King Jr. is back in time. Again, Louisville, they did not have a stolen base the other night against Oregon State. That was only the 8th time this season that they have not stolen a base, and they have 155. And Davis swings through an upstairs fastball from Smith Bailey, and he goes down on strikes. That's 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 in the game. And Zion Rose now will hit with 2 out and a runner on first.
And a good fastball that was up above the top of the zone. And even at 92, not hard to catch up to. You can make your velocity, even if it's not 96 to 99. You can make that play up by working up in the zone, and that's exactly what Bailey did. A good pitch.
Zion Rose, first pitch swinging, and rifles this pitch foul into the stands, right field side. Rose is 0 for 1 today. Zion Rose. Good eye at the plate. More walks than strikeouts. Star in the ACC. And this pitch hit him. Came inside. He just stood straight up and down to the right-handed box and took it on the shoulder. And add to the list, John, of another batter that has been hit by a pitch in the first 3 days of the College World Series.
Yeah, we're going to start keeping track here. 13 hit batters so far.
So the freshman from Peoria, Arizona will have to regain it, as now he looks at Garrett Pike. Pike represents the go-ahead run. But first, we'll have a mound visit from the pitching coach for Arizona.
many college baseball players use Wham's Careless Whisper as their walk-up song? I feel like is every team designated to have one guy that has that?
Could it possibly be a inside joke?
I mean,
could it be that kids, there is hope for Youth of America,
when they like Wham?
That they are embracing some of the younger music now.
But there's a lot of how come nobody uses Huey? Nobody uses all these kids use this 80s music. Nobody uses Huey.
You know, that's a great question. That
imagine if someone walked up,
open up the mailbag. Today.
Power of Love. You know,
you got a point there. You might be the only one that has that.
Maybe some kid named Jacob could pick Jacob's Ladder. Never do it.
So back to that discussion about Running Man. Garrett Pike is 0 for 1. He's 0 for 5 in the series. Meeting on the mound is over.
Welcome to day 3.
King Jr. at second, Rose at first. The pitch by Smith Bailey is a curveball. Drops right in there for a called strike. Guzman, boy, good catcher behind the plate. He does a good job of framing it. And it snowballs in 1 strike. King Jr. at second, Rose at first. Good speed on the base paths. Here comes the pitch, and it's way high. Louisville, one thing they've got to figure out when they get to Omaha is how do they get that first victory on the opening day? They are now 1-5 in their last 6 opening games of the College World Series. 3-1 Arizona, bottom of the 4th, 2 out, 2 on. Pitch is hit in the air, playable to left center field. Drifting over is Walton, and on the run he'll reach up with the left hand and make the catch. And the Cardinals strand 2. They have left 4 on through 4, and they trail by a score of 3-1. In association with 1620 The Zone, you're listening to the Men's College World Series on the NCAA Radio Network.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
The time between Memorial Day and Labor Day is known as the 100 deadliest days. It accounts for 37% of Nebraska's traffic fatalities. Sadly, 67 people lost their lives on Nebraskan roads during this time last year. Your children, significant others, parents, pets, and friends matter to you. Drive like they matter. Don't let a crash take you away from their lives. Always wear your seatbelt, keep your eyes on the road, and put your phone away. Brought to you by the Nebraska chapter of the National Safety Council and the Nebraska DOT Highway Safety Office.
IBEW Local 22 is hiring. Join a dynamic team offering opportunities in all classifications, low voltage, residential, and commercial. Whether you're an experienced journeyman or have no experience, they'll train you. Enjoy great pay, fully funded medical benefits, and a solid retirement plan. IBEW Local 22 is your gateway to a rewarding career in Omaha. Don't miss the chance to build your future. Call Mike at 402-810-0789. That's 402-810-0789.
Welcome back to the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
On the Langfeld overhead door scoreboard, Arizona leads Louisville 3-1 as we get set for the top half of the 5th inning. For your professional garage repairs and installation needs, LangfeldDoors.com. The winner's bracket game later tonight, Coastal Carolina and Oregon State, just a shade after 7 p.m. Eastern, along these same stations where we come to you on Father's Day. In Omaha, Nebraska, the 2025 Men's College World Series, 75 years. 2, 3, and 4 to face Daniel Levitch. And the first pitch to Aaron Walton misses for a ball. Walton has been hit by a pitch and scored. Arizona put 2 up in the first. They have chased the starter Eberle, who got Walton looking back in the 3rd. Wyatt Daniel Levitch, left-handed pitcher from the third base side of the rubber from the stretch, kicks and deals a pitch that is low. So 75 years of marriage here in Omaha. We get to talk about our favorite memories of 75 years, and both of these programs have a memory or two. Pitch inside as the Cardinals have shifted to the left side of the infield, and it's called for a strike. Whether it be Terry Francona in his playing days at Arizona in the late 70s, 78 to 80, won a national championship, or the first real well-known two-way player, swing and a miss as Daniel Levitch throws a fastball right through the bat of Walton. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brendan McKay, 2017 Player of the Year. He was a two-way player for Dan McDonnell. The 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Daniel Levitch out of the bullpen. Back-to-back strikeouts. Second time that Walton has struck out, and here is Mason White.
Same philosophy as used by Smith Bailey. You don't have to overpower, but if you can get that fastball up, especially when you get ahead 2 strikes, you can get a lot of swing and miss. He did at 90, and a good outing so far for Daniel Levitch.
So Daniel Levitch in 32 2/3 innings now this season, 51 strikeouts. And he works to Aaron White. And White lifts this ball into medium depth in left field. Rose with the glasses on, looking up into the sky, makes the catch for out number 2. So White is 1 for 5 in this series. The first 2 have been retired in the 5th. And it gives way to Adonis Guzman. Guzman with his 9th home run of the year. He's got a couple of RBIs today, and he's 5 for 6 in the series. And Chip Hale walks down from the third base box, and he wants to have an offensive meeting outside of the Arizona dugout on the first base side.
And this is simply a stall tactic. I don't think there's any real hardcore offensive stuff going on here. Those first 2 batters were retired very quickly. And so just trying to break up the momentum. He wants a little bit more time for Bailey to get a break between pitches. So he walked all the way down from the third base coaching box and didn't just want to talk to Guzman. He wanted to bring out his assistant coach, his first base coach, and the on-deck hitter, Mikolakis, all to have a meeting.
5th inning powered by the winning team at Liberty First Credit Union, supporting their communities and providing banking with purpose. So Guzman, who has been in 3 different conferences in 3 years, has found a home in Tucson, built like a linebacker. He could be playing on the bear down field for Arizona football. Instead, he's catching for Chip Hale and doing a heck of a job in the College World Series. Let a pitch, misses for a ball. I was telling you earlier, Chip Hale's interesting playing and coaching career. So he's got a men's national championship ring with Arizona, his alma mater, and he's got a World Series ring. And the pitch is low now, 2-0 to the right-handed hitting catcher, who is 2 for 2 today. First time that Daniel Levitch has struggled. He'll walk off the back of the mound, pick up the rosin bag with his left hand, and step back onto the slab. But Hale turned out to be the acting manager in Game 6 of the 19 series. Swing and a miss. Dave Martinez got thrown out of the game. Chip Hale was the bench coach. He was the acting manager. The Nationals held on to win Game 6, and now you know the rest of the story. They went on to win the World Series in 7 against Houston. Guzman lifts this pitch high in the air, foul territory, third base side. Will it find its way into the seats? And it will. He was a manager for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's been a third base coach with the Detroit Tigers. He was a minor leaguer in the Minnesota Twins system. He was in AAA when the Twins won their title in '91. He has seen it all, and then he got the call to come back home, and he's been the head coach for 4 years, and he's got his team in the College World Series. He's also got his team with a 3-1 lead with 2 out and the bases empty in the top of the 5th. And Guzman fouls off the pitch at the plate.
Guzman has been a tough out this week, 5 for 6. And continues to fight here, even with nobody on.
We'll do it again. The pitch to Guzman. Skips in the dirt. You look at some of the coaching history at Arizona. So you go from Jerry Kendall, who was a Hall of Fame national championship coach, and he was Chip Hale's coach when they won in '86 here in Omaha. You remember Andy Lopez?
Yes.
Got here in 2012. Lopez has been to Omaha with a couple of different teams, Pepperdine, Florida, and Arizona. Jay Johnson, who is now the LSU coach, got Arizona to the National Championship Series, and Guzman strikes out. Wyatt Daniel Levitch has faced 4 Wildcats. He has struck out 3, and he has kept his team in the ball game. We're halfway through on day 3 of an elimination game at the Men's College World Series, and Arizona leads Louisville by a score of 3-1. From 1620 The Zone and the NCAA Radio Network, this is the Men's College World Series.
When your athlete is giving their all, you want them to have every advantage. KRT Athletic Muscle Cream helps warm up muscles, stop cramps in minutes, and speeds up muscle recovery. KRT is WADA compliant, hormone free, backed by science, and used by college and pro athletes. The game never stops, and neither should your athletes. KRT Athletic Muscle Cream. Stay in the game. Visit krtrelief.com to get yours today.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learn today. A farmer's market teaches us that community is grown together. Kids laughing shows us how joy is easy. And coffee on the porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
Security equipment makes sure you're always safe at home or when you're away. SEI gives you time to focus on what really matters. Whether it's your home or business, we protect life and property with all of the latest Honeywell home and First Alert products by monitoring for security, fire, carbon monoxide, flood, and temperature 24/7, 365. We provide peace of mind by connecting services like security, video, automation, and access control in one system. Visit SEIsecurity.com to set up a free consultation. SEI is a First Alert Premier Pro partner.
Now back to the Patera Landscaping broadcast booth at Charles Schwab Field for more of the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and Westwood One. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
3-1, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 9-1-2. Neighbors Alisea and Moore against the freshman Smith Bailey for the Wildcats from Tucson, Arizona. Kamayo Neighbors singled back in the 3rd. This has been a really good day of defensive play. Tight game midway through. Neighbors scrunched together back of the box, swings at the first pitch and lines it off the first baseman's spleen, pops in the air to the second baseman, Caulfield, and Bailey covering, not there in time.
Wow, Bailey really had to reach behind his back with all of his momentum going towards the bag, and he is lucky that he was able to save that ball. Otherwise, it would have ended up in foul territory, and Neighbors would have been able to go to second base.
So Neighbors has half of the Cardinals' hits. Everybody seems to be okay. Now, this might be a moment for the Cardinals. Top of the order, they get the leadoff man aboard for the 3rd straight inning. They scored their lone run back in the 2nd. Alex Alisea, who was hit in the 8th spot on Friday night, leading off, and he turns around to bunt, pulls it back, takes it for a ball. Alisea used to be a switch hitter, and then he got injured. Now he is strictly a left-handed hitter. Snap throw over to first. Neighbors is back. 3-1. We'll keep an eye on that Arizona bullpen. Smith Bailey has had a good afternoon. And Alisea bunts it down the third base line, charging, and there'll be no play. Mikalakis couldn't pull it out of his glove. Now, it's already going to be a tough play with the speed of Alisea coming out of the left-handed box. But Mikalakis could not pull it out of the glove, and it is an infield bunt single. And the Cardinals have the first 2 on in the bottom of the 5th, down 3-1.
And finally, the speed of Louisville has shown up here in this Men's College World Series. I think you're right, Gary. Even if if Mikalakis can get the ball out of his glove, it was such a break out of the box from Alisea. I don't think even a good throw would have gotten him. So it is scored a base hit.
Back-to-back singles to begin the Cardinals' 5th. Lucas Moore 0 for 2 today, 1 for 7 in the series. He's one of the top hitters. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed hitter. And he'll square around and fouls it at the plate.
Lucas Moore only has 2 sacrifices this year, but I think part of this is because he has struggled so much at the plate, and now you can move those runners into scoring position. And even with his speed, maybe he can make something happen as well.
Smith Bailey making his 19th start of the year on the mound. And Moore squares around to bunt, and he bunted through it for a called strike. So now it is no balls and 2 strikes. Neighbors at second, Alicea at first. 3-1 Arizona, bottom of the 5th. The winner moves on. The loser, the season comes to an end. An elimination game on Father's Day. Check of the runner back at second. Smith Bailey home with a pitch, and it's high. Matt Klein awaits on deck. Louisville lost to Oregon State 4-3 in a wild game, especially that 9th inning on Friday night. They scored 2 in the top half to tie it, and then the Beavers walked them off in the bottom of the inning. And Moore swings at a pitch in the dirt, misses, and he is out. Before we tell you about Matt Klein, who will hit with 1 out and 2 on, let's check in with Connor Happer. Connor?
Guys, everybody has a good baseball origin story, and usually it revolves around dad. So let me tell you the baseball origin story of Arizona outfielder Dom Rodriguez. He's 7 years old. Dad Corey wants to teach him baseball for the first time, so they go out and take batting practice. And Mom says, hey, would you like to wear one of my old softball helmets? And Dom said, no, thank you. I like to just sit up there and hit. Well, the first pitch, as a check back to second here, hits the runner. And it is nothing further than that. So the first pitch that Corey threw to Dom as a 7-year-old went right in the eye of 7-year-old Dom Rodriguez. He told me this afternoon, at that point he knew he loved baseball. And he couldn't quit it at that point. So that's where the grit began for Arizona outfielder Dom Rodriguez. This update presented by Tickets for Less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees, ticketsforless.com.
Thank you, Connor. The pickoff throw by Bailey hit Neighbors in the middle of the back. So he had to walk it off. Now runners at first and second, 1 out. Here's the pitch to Klein, and it's inside for a ball. We all have those stories that we share today and every day about how our dad sparked a love for the game, or even mom. 3-1 Arizona. Bottom of the 5th. Klein looks at a pitch in the dirt. Good scoop by Guzman. John, who has become fascinated with guys' walk-up songs, of course, Matt Klein, his walk-up song for the 1981 hit from Billy Squier, The Stroke. Now, everybody, have you heard? If you're in the game, then stroke's the word. And here's the stroke by Klein, and he swings through a pitch for a strike.
How come no one uses Everybody Wants You?
These are just an abundance of questions that you're asking about walk-up songs that I have no answer for. Klein 0 for 2 today. Runners at first and second. The pitch, and he pops it in the air, straightaway center field where Walton is standing in the middle of that cutout diamond to celebrate the 75th anniversary. Makes the catch. Boy, when Smith Bailey has needed a pitch, he's got one. He has muted the best bats in this Cardinal lineup. Now there are 2 away with 2 on. Well, Dan McDonald's wife is a huge music fan. Dan will tell you that he is not on her level, like when they play Trivial Pursuit or they go to do karaoke at their favorite place in Louisville. But he uses a lot of music references that equate to life with his team. Not sure when he was playing at Citadel here in the College World Series, if they would have allowed it, what his walk-up song would have been.
Well, right now, he needs to tell Jake Monroe to hit him with his best shot, because they need a base hit here, Gary. I mean, this is first 2 men on, good speed on the bases, and they're in danger of stranding these 2.
The live studio audience in the Patera Landscaping booth gives you a standing ovation for that one. Monroe pulls this pitch well foul outside of the box at third. Jake Monroe is 1 for 2. We're in the 5th. Smith Bailey, the freshman. When your skill set and your physical presence meet, you get a good-looking freshman for Arizona. From the stretch, checks the runner at second. That's Neighbors, comes home with the pitch, and it is up in the zone. As that activity continues out in the Arizona bullpen, the fifth inning powered by the winning team at Liberty First Credit Union, supporting their communities and providing banking with purpose.
This will be the 75th pitch for Smith Bailey.
Runners at first and second. 2 away. And that pitch misses. If you have a banana in the Arizona dugout, this would be a time to grab it whenever they need something good to happen. And this pitch is rifled in the air. Again, playable center field. Smith Bailey's going to get out of it as Walton will make the catch. And the Cardinals cannot do anything with back-to-back leadoff singles. They strand 2. We're through 5. Arizona 3. Louisville 1. In association with 1620 The Zone. You're listening to the Men's College World Series on the NCAA Radio Network.
At Rotella's Italian Bakery, they put unsurpassed product quality into everything they bake. Old world skill and experience are masterfully blended with modern efficiencies to create the delicious breads, rolls, hamburger and hot dog buns, and other specialty products that have delighted their customers since 1921. Combining customer satisfaction with uncompromising quality is their goal. Rotella's Italian Bakery, a century of pride in every slice. To see the full menu of products, visit rotellasbakery.com.
This season, step up to the plate with exceptional offers at Woodhouse Ford. For a limited time, you pay what we pay, with exclusive employee pricing on the full lineup of award-winning vehicles. From the built tough F-150 to the versatile Bronco, it's your chance to drive home a new Ford with a deal that truly knocks it out of the park. View inventory and our exclusive offers online, or visit Woodhouse Ford at our 3 locations in Blair, Omaha, and Plattsmouth.
Life gets hectic, and that can pull away from your wellness goals. So when you finally focus on your health, why get lost in a sea of impersonal options? Discover No Name Nutrition, your family-owned health food haven. With personalized service, we'll guide you to the best choices for your journey. 2 convenient locations in Omaha, ready to support your well-being. No Name Nutrition, proudly fostering healthier lives. Visit nonamenutrition.com today, 144th and Center, or North 72nd Street.
Welcome back to the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
Arizona and Louisville. We're in the 6th inning. The Wildcats leading the Cardinals by a score of 3-1. Wyatt Daniel-Levitch starts Mikalakis off with a pitch upstairs. Maddox Mikalakis is 1 for 2. Singled in the first. Arizona got 2 in the first. A Guzman solo home run in the third. The Cardinals' lone score was in the second. That's where we're at. Up to date here in the 6th. And this pitch is up above the fist for a ball. The scoreboard presented by Langfeld Overhead Door. For your professional garage repairs and installation needs, langfelddoors.com. We play Music Hour on Father's Day. John, I've got a song for you that includes Louisville in it. There are many that actually do. I think Bob Dylan remade this song, Lily of the West. When I first came to Louisville, some pleasure there to find. A damsel there from Lexington was pleasing to my mind.
Okay.
I got nothing else.
You got nothing? That's it?
No. Daniel-Levitch pitch is inside, and Mikalakis walks to begin the Wildcats' 6th.
This is the first walk of the day.
And when there are walks, and we wholly support you taking a walk, it's presented by the American Heart Association. Walking is good for the heart, not great for the pitcher. See what Caulfield does as Roger Williams, the longtime pitching coach for the Cardinal, will come out to visit with his left-hander, who, as John just alluded to, he has faced 5 Wildcats. He has struck out 3 of them, the first base runner reaching here in the 6th after he came in relief of Ethan Eberle, who went 3 2/3, gave up 3 runs, 6 hits, struck out 5. And Louisville will get some action up in the bullpen in left field. Last year, the Cardinals went 32-24. Haven't been back to the College World Series since 2019. Two teams from the state of Kentucky. We'll see Murray State in an elimination game tomorrow afternoon against Arkansas. Davis will hold Michalakis on at first. Caulfield is 1 for 2, hitting .257 on the year from the right side of the plate. Anticipating a bunt, does not square around, and the fastball is right there for a called strike. These two teams met already once this year, but it really doesn't matter. That was the opening weekend of the season. There goes the runner, and the pitch is upstairs. The throw down to second, the tag, not in time. And immediately, Neighbors covering second. The second baseman is going to ask for a review. Good jump by Michalakis. The throw was on the bag, but it appears that Michalakis was in there safely with the stolen base.
Well, that's the second time today we've seen a middle infielder ask for a replay review, and the dugout says, no, we're good.
Connor?
Arizona dugout, down here by the Arizona dugout, guys, one of the things they're doing, we talked about the Bananas earlier to keep themselves loose and ready to go. After the fifth inning, about half the team went up the ramp from the clubhouse and lined up, single file, marched up the ramp, and then started skiing the slope, as they call it, and then marched all the way back down to the field to keep themselves loose. It's pretty loose down here in the Arizona dugout, as this is presented by Tickets for Less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees, ticketsforless.com.
Thank you, Connor. There is some really good skiing in Arizona as that pitch climbs upstairs to Caulfield.
Not this time of year, though.
Oh, no. Well, where can I just ask a question?
Sure.
In the month of June, where would you find in the United States some really good snow skiing? This pitch
maybe there's some in Alaska.
I don't know. Flagstaff area?
Could
in
be.
The northern part of Arizona?
Sure.
There are areas that I believe Mount Lemmon Ski Valley, not very far from Tucson, is a place that maybe I would go if I was a U of A student, athlete.
Okay.
Michalakis at second. It's 3-1 Arizona, top of the sixth. And Caulfield reaches out and hits it the opposite way into the seats down the right field line. So these two teams met on the opening weekend. Louisville beat Arizona 13-1. It was in the Shriners Children College Showdown. Arizona actually began the year 0-3. Mississippi State, Clemson, Louisville. That was their first 3 games of the 2025 campaign. You know what they've done since then? As Caulfield fouls it straight back as he reached down under his knees to keep that bat alive. They have gone 44-17 since the opening weekend. They went to Eugene, they went to Chapel Hill, and now they're in Omaha trying to keep their season alive, up 3-1 in the sixth.
All 3 of those teams they played opening weekend were tournament teams.
Daniel Levitch kicks and fires, and the fastball up high, and it is back-to-back walks to begin the sixth. And it'll bring Andrew Kane to the plate. And we look down, Dan McDonnell looks like he peers towards the bullpen in left field. Daniel Levitch is the second pitcher, and now Dan McDonnell, who has had quite a coaching career with guys that he's coached with. He's standing on the top step of the dugout, peering out at Daniel Levitch, and now Dan McDonnell will make the slow walk towards the mound, and he will go to the bullpen. Nobody out, top of the sixth. Daniel Levitch, who again was cruising, he had retired the first 4 out of the pen, including 3 via the strikeout, but here in the sixth, he has walked back-to-back hitters, and his afternoon is over. Arizona 3, Louisville 1. The new pitcher is on the way. This call to the bullpen presented by Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, home of the Big O Pizza and award-winning Charbuff Wings. We'll tell you the details of the next Cardinal pitcher that has to put out an uprising by Arizona when you return after this.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is West Omaha's headquarters for specialty pizzas and award-winning char-buffed wings. Enjoy games on their updated video and audio system and huge LED wall. Their main location on 173rd and Center is the perfect place to beat the heat with family and friends for the college baseball tournament. They also have a second carry-out location at 162nd and West Maple Street, featuring the same great pizzas and wings. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, home of the Big O Pizza and award-winning char-buffed wings.
If you're looking for live and local, check out 1620 The Zone. Live and local from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. with Gary and Matt.
Nebraska is built like the F-150. And you know what? They're trying to be the Toyota RAV4.
The Connor Happer Show.
You never know where we might be on any given day. All across the country, 1620 The Zone will be.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Sorry we're awesome. Sorry we're great and our listeners are smart.
Yeah, and handsome.
1620 The Zone, an NRG media station.
The new pitcher for the Cardinals will be right-hander Tucker Bivens. Before we tell you about more of what he is inheriting, let's pause for station identification in association with Westwood One on the NCAA Radio Network. Second time today that the Cardinals have gone to the bullpen, John. And Tucker Bivens, who has had a very interesting season. In the situations he has been placed in, he's been a starter. Now he's primarily out of the bullpen. And regardless, they'll need him to put out an uprising by the Wildcats here in the 6th.
Bivens is making his 22nd appearance. This will be his 17th in relief. But so far in this NCAA tournament, his 2 appearances have both been starts. A combined 8 1/3 innings. 7 runs, but only 2 of them earned, so he was done in by his defense. Struck out 6. But Bivens, who's got some really good stuff, 93 to 96 mile-an-hour fastball, sharp slider, curve, and changeup, was a member of the 2024 USA Collegiate National Team last year.
He's also a really good basketball player in high school in the state of Indiana, where, if you've been listening, 49 states play basketball, and then there's Indiana. So Tucker Bivens comes in, and pitchers do get warm-up music as well to a very underrated Johnny Cash song, God's Gonna Cut You Down. Bivens works to Andrew Kane, who was 0 for 1 today. Michalakis at second, Caulfield at first. They're in on the corners. Charging is Davis, the first baseman. Squaring around a bunt, popped it up right to Bivens. 1 pitch, 1 out. Kane squared around, and Bivens threw a fastball up in the zone, which is extremely difficult to bunt down. Usually that's going to be popped up. That's exactly what it was, and that's out number 1.
And I almost wonder if in his peripheral vision that the charge by Take Davis, Davis was less than 20 feet away from him when the ball reached the plate. If maybe seeing him in his periphery vision may have distracted him just a little bit, but he certainly is the last place he wanted to pop it up. It was the easiest first out that Tucker Bivens could have asked for.
Low-scoring game. Everything matters. 3-1 Arizona, but now there is 1 out for Tommy Splain. And he swings at the first pitch and lofts it towards the gap in left center field. Rose had a good jump on it in left. He'll make the catch. Michalakis tags at second. Here comes the throw to third, and the tag is applied. Michalakis is retired 4 steps before he got to the bag.
What a gun!
It goes 7-5, a double play to end the 6th. We go to the bottom half. Arizona 3, Louisville 1. From 1620 The Zone to the NCAA Radio Network, this is the Men's College World Series.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins'. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Baseball fans, get in the action when you get your tickets at ticketsforless.com or through the Tickets for Less app. Score extra savings on your tickets when you use promo code DAZN at checkout. Simply visit ticketsforless.com or download the free Tickets for Less app from your app store today. Reminder, Tickets for Less never charges added service fees. Every seat holds a story. Find yours and save at ticketsforless.com. Ticketsforless.com is not an official ticket reseller of the NCAA Men's College World Series.
The hot, humid weather is coming, but if you call Patera Landscaping today, you can be relaxing in your crystal clear swimming pool this summer. Patera's design team will expertly craft and install your stunning pool that your family and friends will enjoy this summer and for years to come. Enjoy baseball, cookouts, and your perfect swimming pool from Patera this summer. Go to PateraLandscaping.com. For pool design, outdoor living, and landscaping, call Patera.
Now back to the Patera Landscaping broadcast booth at Charles Schwab Field for more of the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and Westwood One. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
After the double play to end the Wildcat threat in the 6th, Dan McDonald, who went to college at Citadel in beautiful Charleston, South Carolina, a very fired-up head coach for Louisville between innings as Eddie King Jr. hits one sharply on the ground, but right to the shortstop. White gobbles it up, slings it over to first. One pitch, one out. Like he's talking to the Corps of Cadets, and Connor Happer down in the Louisville dugout was right there to listen in.
Yeah, guys, the usually very calm and reserved Dan McDonald gathered everybody up in the dugout in between that inning, and the challenge was obviously to the offense. The message: you got 4 innings left to figure this out. The offense has to carry us if we want to continue on here. Really, really animated was Dan McDonald in between the inning. This update presented by Tickets for Less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Ticketsforless.com.
Eddie King Jr. jumped on the first pitch. Davis will take the pitch from Smith Bailey outside for a ball. What an afternoon for Smith Bailey, who kind of is the number 3 starter in this Arizona staff. Just a freshman, great stuff. High upside, all the cliches you use for him, and he throws a curveball that Davis swings through for a strike. Bailey 5 in the 3rd. He's given up 1 run, walked 1, struck out 4. Now he's inching towards 80 pitches as he works to the left-handed hitting first baseman who's 0 for 2. And a swing and a miss. There are a lot of young, promising arms that we have seen of the 8 teams here in the College World Series. Smith Bailey has a pretty good seat on that list. Now he tries to retire Davis as Arizona with the shift.
And Gary, he's done it.
Right side, excuse me.
Sorry about that, Gary. He's done it by being the least sexy of the group. Not big strikeout numbers, but he's pitching to the ballpark, getting a lot of fly balls, and he's letting his defense work for him.
Pitch misses. The 6th inning presented by the Drug Enforcement Administration. To learn about the dangers of fentanyl or to join in the fight against drugs, visit DEA.gov. Opposition hitting .266 against him this season. He is 3-3 with a 4.01 ERA. The 3-2 just misses a little bit up in the zone, and Davis is aboard with a 1-out walk.
Boy, that was a chance he'd take. That pitch was right at the top of the zone. According to the TrackMan, 91 miles an hour, but he takes the walk. Only the 2nd walk given up by Smith Bailey, who is now at 83 pitches. And looking back at his game log this year, he has only been over 100 once, Gary, and that was against BYU 2 months ago, and it was only at 101. He's been this is basically the end of his line. We're getting right into that range, about 85 to 95 pitches.
Rose, the tying run at the plate in a 3-1 game, bottom of the 6th, who just made the great play in left field. Made the catch and then threw out Michalakis by 4 steps at third base, who was trying to tag. Rose is 0 for 1 today. 1 for 5 in the series. Runner at first, 1 out. Here's the pitch. And Rose swings late and taps it foul down the first base line. I was mentioning earlier the marriage between the NCAA and Omaha, 75 years. I do want to say happy anniversary to Gerald and Barbara Skiles, who I believe are listening today in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. They are going to celebrate this year their 75th wedding anniversary.
My goodness.
So they are 0.1% of marriages that celebrate 75 years in this country. The pitch is chopped on the ground toward short. Could be 2. To second for 1. On to first. Double play. 6-4 to 3. And Smith Bailey is out of the 6th. And we are through 6. Arizona 3, Louisville 1. John, to take you the rest of the way home in this elimination game. In association with 1620 The Zone, you're listening to the Men's College World Series on the NCAA Radio Network.
It's a scorcher out there, folks, and if your AC's throwing wild pitches, it's time to call in the relief team. Skradsky Heating and Cooling. Family owned, operated, and cooling Omaha for more than 70 years. Skradsky doesn't just play ball, they knock the heat out of the park. Whether you're watching the college baseball championships or just trying not to stick to your couch, don't strike out with a broken AC. Visit heatomaha.com because sweating through summer is a foul ball.
It's NCAA championship time. Fans of the hustle? Present. Fans of the heart? Present. Fans of the flash, grit, and grind? Present. The best fans in the lands are bringing everything they got for their team. Be there when your squad hoists the ultimate trophy overhead. The NCAA championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Welcome back to the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
Another great defensive play to end another inning that ended the 6th, which was presented by the Drug Enforcement Administration. To learn about the dangers of fentanyl or to join in the fight against drugs, visit DEA.gov.
Gary, we go to the 7th. It's Arizona 3, Louisville 1. We kind of thought it might be a low-scoring game today. Well, those 2 runs in the first inning by Arizona have held up thus far. It'll be 9-1-2 against the third pitcher of the day for the Cardinals, Tucker Biven. And Biven deals a breaking ball outside for ball 1. Louisville has left 6 on. Arizona has left 5 on. So it's not like there's been a ton of base runners today, but we've had a couple of double plays that have erased men off the base paths and a base running mistake, which we thought might hold up. But so far, Arizona with that 2-run lead. The pitch on 1-1 is low, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Going back to the first inning, when Guzman delivered an RBI single, Mason White thought the throw was going to go through to the plate and was between second and third. The throw was cut off, and he was cut down in a rundown. He went around, did Breifogel on that pitch in the dirt, the breaking ball at 77. And Breifogel now has the count squared at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The right-hander Biven ready, and the breaking ball misses low and outside.
So to add to your point a little bit about the Cardinals' struggles today, when runners are on base, they're 2 of 14. Runners in scoring position, 0 for 7. 0 for 5 with 2 outs.
And remember, they had 2 on, nobody out, as there's a swing and a foul tip at the plate. Catcher couldn't hang on, and he'll stay alive. The count is 3 balls and 2 strikes on Easton Breifogel. But Louisville had an opportunity, had first 2 men on, and could not advance either man. That was 2 innings ago. The 3-2 pitch is chopped on the ground to the first baseman. He's got it. Take Davis will take it to the bag himself. And there's 1 out in our 7th inning, presented by American Physical Therapy Association of Nebraska. Choose movement, choose health, choose physical therapy, choosept.com/NE. 4th time through the order now for the Wildcats, with Brendan Summerhill, who is 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts. Arizona has fanned 8 times offensively today. Only 4 times has Smith Bailey struck out a Cardinal. There's a chopper on the ground to second. Neighbors has it. And an easy routine play. And quickly 2 down here in the 7th. So while Bailey hasn't been overpowering with the strikeout, he has been good at stranding runners and getting double play balls. Here is Aaron Walton, who was hit by a pitch and scored the first run of the game back in the first. All of our runs are presented by SEI. You're always safe with a security solution from Security Equipment Incorporated. So Walton 0 for 2 today. 2 strikeouts to his ledger, so his bat, if he chose to put it on eBay, he could put it up there as almost new, hardly used. I assume that bat's been used in other games, but pitch is outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Crowd's thinned out a little bit, apparently a little steamy for a few of the folks, though doesn't feel too bad up here in our Patera Landscaping broadcast booth. Not to brag or anything. Swing and a miss at a low fastball, and it's 2-1. But we have to keep this at a certain temperature because the azaleas that Nick Grimm asked for this year need to be kept at just the right temperature. The 2-1 is grounded foul. For all your landscaping needs, it's Patera.
Well, I can see, because Nick's a big golf fan. So he would like he'd like Augusta National to come to Omaha, Nebraska.
Sounds like they're having some weather situations in Pittsburgh trying to get that 4th round of the U.S. Open.
I just saw they got suspended due to the weather.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on, and the pitch is a slider away. And it's 3-2. Well, for those of us who don't get to watch a lot of the U.S. Open because we're here.
Would you like me to tell you who's winning?
Well, here's first the 3-2 pitch. And here is a chopper past the shortstop and into left field for a base hit. Aaron Walton is aboard with his first hit of the day. What I was going to say is I wouldn't mind if they couldn't play the rest of the day and had to finish tomorrow. Well, then again, we're here tomorrow, so I guess what difference does it make?
So let me tell you. Sam,
just tell me.
Well, they have suspended play due to pouring rain at Oakmont outside of Pittsburgh. Sam Burns maintains his lead on the final day of the U.S. Open. He is at 2 over. The course is winning.
Excellent. Here's Mason White. 0 for 2 today. He, too, hit by a pitch in the first inning. They're going to throw over there and keep an eye on Walton. 19 of 23 this year is Walton trying to steal. 3-1 Arizona. We're in the top of the 7th. Loser goes home. Tucker Biven, who works the third base side of the rubber, brings it home, and the fastball at 92 is down. 1 ball and no strikes. As Gary mentioned, Tucker Biven was a great basketball player, 1,000-point scorer in high school, but was also the number 3 rated overall player in the state of Indiana from a baseball perspective. This one is chopped on the ground right to the first baseman. A routine play. Davis jogs back to the bag and taps it, and that will retire the side, and it is 7th inning stretch on a Father's Day in Omaha. No runs, 1 man left to the bottom of the 7th. Our 7th inning stretch presented by the American Physical Therapy Association of Nebraska. Choose movement, choose health, choose physical therapy. Choose PT.com/NE. 3-1 Arizona from 1620 The Zone and the NCAA Radio Network. This is the Men's College World Series.
Defending your rights takes experience. At the Sedora Law Group, that experience spans 3 generations. Whether it's a misdemeanor, felony, or DUI, we bring the same structure trusted by local and national clients. Courtroom preparation, sentencing insight, and real legal strategy. Schedule a consultation with your defense team today. Visit SedoraLaw.com. That's SODORO Law.com. Or call 402-504-9346. When your family, freedom, or finances are on the line, your outcome depends on what you do next. Visit SedoraLaw.com.
Ready to hit your financial goals out of the park? Bankers Trust at 192nd and Dodge offers a full suite of banking products and tools just for you. Experience high-touch, personalized service in personal banking, lending, and wealth management. Swing by the new location or visit bankerstrust.com to learn more. Your financial future is at bat, and Bankers Trust is here to help you hit a home run. Experience the Bankers Trust difference today.
Baseball and a cold one go together like apple pie and America. At Cross-Strain Brewing Company, the goal of every beer is to make it enjoyable, drinkable, and leave you asking, what are they going to do next? Hit up Draftworks Taproom, just 2 blocks north of the ballpark for a cold beverage, a bite to eat, or for Dingerville. Presented by MCL Construction during opening weekend. Cross-Strain Brewing Company, always evolving. 2 blocks north of the stadium on Millwork Avenue. Please drink responsibly.
Now back to the Patera Landscaping broadcast booth at Charles Schwab Field for more of the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and Westwood One. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
The non-stop engine that is Smith Bailey goes out for the 7th inning. He has been to 6 innings in each of his 3 NCAA tournament starts. He begins the 7th with a 2-run lead. It's 3-1 Arizona. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for Louisville as they try to mount a comeback. First pitch was grounded foul by Garrett Pike, the 0-1. Checked his swing, it was high. 1 ball and 1 strike. He is now at 88 pitches, has not really lost any velocity. The 1-1, twisting outside. It's 2 balls and a strike. I had seen Garrett Hicks, the right-hander, up earlier, but now it looks like there is a left hand. Nope. It's someone throwing a medicine ball against the back of the wall. Here's the 2-1. This one is sprayed down the left field line. It's down, and it's headed for the corner. This should be extra bases. Garrett Pike rounding first, headed for second with a double.
Now there will be activity in the Arizona bullpen that is a little bit more serious.
The 18th double of the year for Garrett Pike, and only his 2nd extra base hit of this NCAA tournament. Louisville will bring the tying run to the plate, Gary.
It wasn't a bad pitch. It was a really good piece of hitting by Pike. It was on the outside part of the plate. It was in the strike zone, but he had to reach for it, and he did a good job of going the opposite way. Now we'll see if the Cardinals can get a hit with a runner in scoring position that they haven't been able to get all day.
Well, here's a guy who has accounted for nearly half of Louisville's hits today as he takes inside, and Kamayu Neighbors was showing bunt, pulled the bat back. Neighbors with 2 hits. But in each case, he was either erased on a fielder's choice or left stranded. The 1-0 shows bunt, puts it down, first base side. It's a really good bunt. Going to be a tough play. Safe! And Kamayu Neighbors, double pump of the fist. It was a perfect bunt that died in the grass rolling up the first base line, and a very tough angle, Gary, for Smith Bailey because he's got to throw with the runner in his path. But are we going to have a question here about the runner's lane?
So
we should.
As Smith Bailey was coming off the mound.
Let's go to the umpire.
Arizona is challenging the call of safe at first base. This play is under review.
So they are going to challenge the runner's lane, Gary, but the real quick first replay I saw, it looked like he was in the perfect position and he used the green bag.
So I'm wondering, and I agree with you on that, and I think replay will show that, did Smith Bailey think that the ball was going to roll foul? Because he waited a little bit before he picked it up. Now, he knew Neighbors was running in front of him, but it's almost like he hesitated, thinking the ball was going to hit a little cue ball and go foul, and then he realizes that Neighbors is running. He's got to pick it up.
Gary, I think you're right. I think there was just a moment of indecision, and of course, hindsight is always 20/20. Now, they also could be just reviewing. I guess I was assuming runner's lane because it seems like we're always talking about the runner's lane, but they are also looking.
This place is confirmed safe at first base.
It was a pretty close play, so it was not a runner's lane challenge. It was to see if he had beaten the throw, and he did beat the throw. Still a very tough play. Of course, hindsight's always 20/20 as Chip Hale is going to come out and make a pitching change, and that is going to end the day for Smith Bailey. But I thought the ball, when it came off the bat, was going to roll foul.
And the freshman who has had great poise all day, thought the same thing. And now his afternoon is over. And here comes a guy with an elite mustache and maybe even a better right arm. We get to see Garrett Hicks against the Cardinals.
And Louisville is mounting a threat. 1st and 3rd. Nobody out. Trailing by 2. Smith Bailey's day is done. It was an excellent day. But now he can only be a spectator, as this call to the bullpen is presented by Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, home of the Big O Pizza and award-winning char-buffed wings. Back to Omaha after this.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is West Omaha's headquarters for specialty pizzas and award-winning char-buffed wings. Enjoy games on their updated video and audio system and huge LED wall. Their main location on 173rd and Center is the perfect place to beat the heat with family and friends for the college baseball tournament. They also have a second carryout location at 162nd and West Maple Street, featuring the same great pizzas and wings. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, home of the Big O Pizza and award-winning char-buffed wings.
If you're looking for live and local, check out 1620 The Zone. Live and local from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. with Gary and Matt.
Nebraska is built like the F-150. And you know what? They're trying to be the Toyota RAV4.
The Connor Happer Show.
You never know where we might be on any given day. All across the country, 1620 The Zone will be.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Sorry we're awesome. Sorry we're great and our listeners are smart.
Yeah, and handsome.
1620 The Zone, an NRG media station.
Well, we saw Garrett Hicks on Friday, and he ended up taking the loss, giving up the 3 runs in that Coastal Carolina 8-run rally, went an inning and a third, 3 runs, 2 hits, walked 1, struck out 2. He's got a 2-run lead here in the bottom of the 7th, but nobody out and runners at 1st and 3rd, and it's going to be up to Hicks to try to put out this fire. He has a 5-0 record. Should be a 5-1 record. With 2 saves on the season. Alicia and Moore due up here. And we've got some kind of a delay. Not really sure what that was about. So this they have waved Alicia into the batter's box.
This will be very interesting to see if Alicia squares around on the first pitch, maybe not to actually bunt the baseball, but just to get a feel for Hicks and make him throw a strike.
1st and 3rd, Alicia, who bunted safely for a single his last time up, and they're going to throw over to 1st. Neighbors, who has got good speed over there, going to keep an eye on him as well. He represents the tying run. The first pitch by Hicks is looped in the air. Foul ground. 3rd baseman there to make the catch. Alicia, and now Neighbors is going to tag and take 2nd. So they get the out. But tagging at 1st and going to 2nd on the pop foul behind 3rd base. Kamayu Neighbors with heads-up base running. And a little bit of a delay out there by Mikalakis, who was in rather deep foul territory before he threw to 2nd, but it was too late. So a heads-up play by Neighbors.
And Mikalakis had a spin around. So he had when he made the catch, he had his back to the diamond. Heads-up play by Neighbors, and now they got the tying run in scoring position.
And here is Lucas Moore. And if there was ever a moment for this young man who has struggled all tournament long, he's hitting well under 200. He is 0 for 3 today. He has not really seen the strike zone particularly well. Takes one outside here for ball 1. He has struck out twice today. But now the tying run is in scoring position, only 1 out. The pitch, and this is swung on and hit to center field. But Walton's going to have a play on it. He'll make the catch. Tagging and scoring will be Garrett Pike. And so it is now a 3-2 ball game. So Moore does get a sacrifice fly and an RBI. But now there are 2 away. And Hicks now has a chance to escape here with still the lead in hand.
Oh, and Neighbors could have probably tagged from 2nd. He was trying to read what Walton was going to do. But the cut man for Arizona was not in the right spot. The ball went all the way through to Hicks, who was between third and home.
So now here's Matt Klein. Takes a strike on the inside corner. Klein, three flyouts today. He was robbed of a base hit by Breifogel in left on a diving catch. This is a bouncing ball up the middle. Picked up at short and in time at first for the out. So Louisville reaches the first two. They manage one run, but they cannot get even with Arizona. It goes 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 man left. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Our 7th inning was presented by the American Physical Therapy Association of Nebraska. Choose movement, choose health, choose physical therapy. ChoosePT.com/NE. In association with 1620 The Zone, you're listening to the Men's College World Series on the NCAA Radio Network.
Now through July 7th, take advantage of exclusive employee pricing at Woodhouse Ford. For a limited time, you pay what we pay on our full lineup of new Ford models. No exceptions, just straightforward savings. Whether you're looking for a rugged F-150, a versatile Bronco, or a dependable Escape, our friendly, knowledgeable staff are here to find the perfect vehicle for you. View our offers online or shop in-store at one of the Woodhouse Ford dealerships located in Blair, Omaha, and Plattsmouth.
At Rotella's Italian Bakery, they put unsurpassed product quality into everything they bake. Old world skill and experience are masterfully blended with modern efficiencies to create the delicious breads, rolls, hamburger and hot dog buns, and other specialty products that have delighted their customers since 1921. Combining customer satisfaction with uncompromising quality is their goal. Rotella's Italian Bakery, a century of pride in every slice. To see the full menu of products, visit rotellasbakery.com.
Lanahaw Nurseries has been your dependable full-service source for locally grown trees, plants, and landscape materials. Rooted in tradition, our products and services are consistently ranked best of Omaha in quality and value. From design to install, our experts are here to help bring your landscape vision to life. Start your next project this weekend. Visit us at 192nd and Center. Lanahaw Nurseries, your homegrown headquarters since 1974.
Welcome back to the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
John Bishop, Gary Sharp, Connor Happy. Happy Father's Day. Connor Happy. Connor Happer. Happy Father's Day. Too much hap in this conversation. 3-2 as we head to the top of the 8th. Arizona preserves the lead. It's been paired by 1, but the man who did the exact same thing in the 3rd inning, Adonis Guzman, leading things off. When Louisville got a run in the 2nd, Guzman got that run right back with a home run to left field in the 3rd. Takes high, a ball and a strike. 2 for 3 today is Guzman after going 3 for 4 in the opening game. The 1-1 pitch from Bivin. And that one took the mask off of Matt Klein. And fortunately, he's okay. It's 2 balls and a strike. Let's see what happened here. Did he just not catch it? Not sure what happened there.
I think as he went to catch the breaking pitch inside, he lost his glove.
Okay, there we go. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Adonis Guzman. Here's the pitch. And this one is fouled off to the right.
Yeah, to put the pitch com back on there, did you know that you can pick the voice that is on your pitch com?
Well, I would assume so. Like you can pick the voice of whoever your Alexa is or all of those other voice-activated devices, your navigation in your car. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This one is reached at, driven into left field. Rose on the run, makes the catch. Boy, I did not think he was going to be able to catch up to it, but Zion Rose showing great athleticism. Got a late break on that little looping pop-up into shallow left field, and shedding the hat on the run makes the catch. He plays a really good left field.
He gets really good jumps on the baseball. And remember, we documented the difficulties of sometimes playing in this ballpark for the first time, but it seems like every jump is the right spot for him.
Here's Mikalakis, who swings and fouls it back. Mikalakis today is 1 for 2, singled in the first, walked in the sixth, but trying to tag and take third on the fly ball that was hit to Rose. Rose threw him out by 4 steps. Pitch is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. (3-2) is our score. Mikalakis waits, and the 1-1 is in there for a strike. Connor Happer down on the field.
Yeah, guys, down in the Arizona dugout, another kind of impassioned speech in between the inning, this time in the Arizona dugout. Chip Hale kind of got everybody in a sugar huddle of sorts in the visitors' dugout down here. Slow the game down was the message.
The 1-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3, and there's 2 away.
This is presented by Tickets for Less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Ticketsforless.com.
Well, you can tell the pressure is starting to mount here. We're in late inning situation, and while Arizona has led all the way, this is a Louisville team that has 18 come from behind wins this season. And they almost pulled the trick the other night against Oregon State with an improbable 2-run rally in the 9th, only to be walked off in the bottom of the 9th. This one's going to be popped up behind first base, a long run. Who's going to make it? And the diving catch is not made as Davis running out, King running in, Neighbors running out from second. It lands in between all 3 of them. Heck of an effort from Tag Davis, who had the only real play on the ball, tried to Willie mays it over his shoulder, falling to the ground, and it just hit off of the end of his glove.
Yeah, he was the only one that could have made the play. Now, Neighbors was on the run, but Davis was the closest. And, boy, if he comes up with that, that's one heck of a play, running with your back to the infield. But fortunately, he only ended up in a single.
So Caulfield at first. Here's Andrew Kane. 1 on, 2 out. Top of the 8th.
Plus, another thing that I've been told by pop-ups that are down the line here, in your regular ballpark, you don't hear a lot of noise because most stadiums don't have extended grandstands down the left and right field line. Here, you got everybody making noise, and you're like, okay, am I close? Am I close?
Here is Kane. First pitch to him, breaking ball in for a strike. Ball popped away from Matt Klein, but he keeps in front of it. Our 8th inning presented by NRG Digital Marketing. Grow your brand and reach new customers with our local experts at nrgdigitalmarketing.com. Arizona now with 8 hits to Louisville's 7. It's 3-2 Wildcats. The 0-1 pitch is fouled back. Our scoreboard is presented by Langfeld Overhead Door. For your professional garage repair and installation needs, langfelddoors.com. Louisville, in their half of the 8th, will have Monroe, King, and Davis. One ball, 2 strikes to Andrew Kane. Bivin with a long pause, and he'll throw to first. And Caulfield had about a 1.5 lead off the bag and just turned and put his foot back on the bag. Bivin takes a deep breath, nods his head after he has his PitchCom sign. And another throw to first. Wind is still blowing from center to left. Flags going across the field. We've had pretty much carbon copy weather conditions all 3 days. Warm and sunny. The 1-2 is swung on and fouled off. There's a few folks that have taken a turn on the Ferris wheel. You know, if you sit high enough on that thing, you can watch the whole game from out there. Sitting out beyond right center field in a new spot this year near the Fan Fest. No balls, 2 strikes to Kane. And the pitch. is low.
Why are there so many people that are on our broadcast that are afraid of heights?
Like who?
Well, we had a Coax Connor in last year going up there. He said he didn't like heights. Chris Perdone does not like heights at all. I rode the Ferris wheel with him one time, and he didn't look up the entire cycle around.
Another throw over to first.
I think it'd be a great spot, you know. There have been some legendary broadcasters of the game that have done games in the bleachers.
Mm-hmm.
What about a whole game with the crew from the Ferris wheel? We'd apologize to the people that we would inconvenience, but...
There's one park in Brooklyn that you could do it from on a permanent basis.
Home of the Brooklyn Cyclones.
The 1-2 is outside, the field that... Is it the Mets A-League team now? Is on Coney Island. The Brooklyn Cyclones. Right outside of Coney Island. You can just get up on the Ferris wheel and watch the whole game from up there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Runner at first. The pitch. And this one's lined into center to get down for a base hit. Caulfield's going to make the turn and then stop at second. And so Andrew Kane keeps this merry-go-round going. And it's first and second now with 2 out. And a chance here for Tommy Splain with 2 hits already today to extend that lead with 6 defensive outs to go for his Wildcats to save their season. A single in the second, a single in the fourth. He flew out to left his last time up. There are people milling about in the Louisville pen, but no one working right now. This is Tucker Bivens' job. 2 on with 2 out, and this one's going to be rolled on the ground to short. Picked up by Alisea. The throw is in time, and that will retire the side. 2 hits and 2 men left. We head to the bottom of the 8th. It's Arizona 3 and Louisville 2 from 1620 The Zone and the NCAA Radio Network. This is the Men's College World Series.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins'. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
The hot, humid weather is coming, but if you call Patera Landscaping today, you can be relaxing in your crystal clear swimming pool this summer. Patera's design team will expertly craft and install your stunning pool that your family and friends will enjoy this summer and for years to come. Enjoy baseball, cookouts, and your perfect swimming pool from Patera this summer. Go to PateraLandscaping.com. For pool design, outdoor living, and landscaping, call Patera.
Since this is a radio commercial, you can't see the people standing behind me. They're the Langfeld family. Everybody wave. Oh, sorry, you can't see them because radio. Anyway, the Langfelds are the family behind Langfeld Overhead Door, where they proudly install Midland garage doors to fit any space and style. And they don't take a backseat to anyone when it comes to their service. Because if something goes wrong, it's their name on the line. So they're going to make sure it goes right every single time. Langfeld Overhead Door, 402-234-2700.
Now back to the Patera Landscaping broadcast booth at Charles Schwab Field for more of the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and Westwood One. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
The 8th inning is presented by NRG Digital Marketing. Grow your brand and reach new customers with our local experts at nrgdigitalmarketing.com. Time running out on Louisville. 6 outs to go, trailing by a run. And here is Jake Monroe taking the first pitch up from Garrett Hicks. Hicks, who came in after the first 2 men reached in the 7th, put out the fire. Did give up a run on a sacrifice fly, but kept the lead. This one's going to be hit right into the shift. It's fumbled at short. Long throw is wide. And Monroe is safe. They had the shift on. It was hit right too short. And Mason White fumbled it initially, then had to rush his throw, and the throw pulled Tommy Splain off the bag. It'll be the first error of the game. his 12th of the season, and the tying run is on to lead off the 8th. And the Eddie chants go up from the Louisville patrons. First pitch to King, and he was going for it there. Got a slider, center cut, and fouled it straight back.
Yeah, he loves that first pitch, but can the Cardinals have late game magic again? Can they get a base hit? They're getting a runner on to begin the inning.
Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, missed inside.
Now,
one ball, one strike.
The question, John, becomes when does Chip Hale go to the bullpen? Because he's got the best closer in college baseball, and Tony Pluta, who we saw just briefly the other day out there.
And remember, they brought him in after they had given up the 3-run lead. The pitch swung on and missed. Fastball high and tight, and Eddie King misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And is that Pluta down there? I believe so. Yeah, Tony Pluta warming up in the bullpen. Nobody out here in the 8th inning. Tying run is at first. The pause by Hicks. He brings it home, and it's a line drive. Base hit into center field. It was a late start by Monroe. Not that he would have been able to go first to third anyway. But here comes Louisville. First and second and nobody out. And now you wonder, will the move be made? Chip Hale is looking down towards that bullpen right now. But he still stands on the top step of the dugout, not near the steps. Now he starts to come down, and now he takes the long, slow crawl up those steps, and here he comes. And the call has been made to the bullpen. Time to stop fooling around. This time, they're going to go to Pluta, and he's going to be asked to come up with a 6-inning save. But first, he's got to get out of the 8th. First and second, nobody out. And one of the top closers in America, junior from Palatine, Illinois, Tony Pluta, will try to be the fireman today to keep Arizona in this Men's College World Series. It's Arizona 3, Louisville 2. And this call to the bullpen is presented by Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, home of Big O Pizza and award-winning char-buffed wings. We are back to Omaha after this.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is West Omaha's headquarters for specialty pizzas and award-winning char-buffed wings. Enjoy games on their updated video and audio system and huge LED wall. Their main location on 173rd and Center is the perfect place to beat the heat with family and friends for the college baseball tournament. They also have a second carryout location at 162nd and West Maple Street, featuring the same great pizzas and wings. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, home of the Big O Pizza and award-winning char-buffed wings.
If you're looking for live and local, check out 1620 The Zone. Live and local from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. with Gary and Matt.
Nebraska is built like the F-150. And you know what? They're trying to be the Toyota RAV4.
The Connor Happer Show.
You never know where we might be on any given day. All across the country, 1620 The Zone will be.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Sorry we're awesome. Sorry we're great and our listeners are smart.
Yeah, and handsome.
1620 The Zone, an NRG media station.
Here is Tony Pluta, the ace pitcher out of the bullpen for Chip Hale. The inning started with an error by the shortstop, Mason White. That allowed Monroe to reach. Eddie King has just delivered a single to center. And Pluta, who came in a couple batters later after the damage had been done by Coastal Carolina on Friday, no hesitation this time from Coach Hale. And here is Pluta. And the numbers this season, a 1.25 ERA, 14 saves, 3-0 record, 36 innings, just 5 runs allowed, 34 strikeouts, 7 walks, and a minuscule 189 earned run average. And so, Gary Sharp, are you manufacturing a run here? If you're Dan McDonald, are you bunting here with Tig Davis to try to get those runners over to second and third?
I don't think so.
Davis is 0 for 2. Arizona maybe expecting it at third. First pitch is low and over the zone, though, for a strike.
I think it's tough to take the bat out of the hand of Davis.
Davis, who walked his last time up. Third baseman, Mikalakis, playing just inside the bag at third. Here's the 0-1, and this one is hit in the air towards center field. It may drop, it does! It's only going to be 90 feet for each base runner. A diving attempt by Walton comes up a bit short, but now the bases are loaded. Of course, playing deep defense here to cut off anything to the alleys. And Aaron Walton gave it a go, but that ball just didn't have enough carry. And the bases are loaded now in the Louisville 8th with nobody out.
Yeah, good piece of hitting by Davis. You know, he just was trying to make contact and blooped it in there. And here we go. That late inning magic by Louisville again, I guess.
Zion Rose. Grounded into a fielder's choice, but it drove in a run in the second. Hit by a pitch in the fourth. A double play in the sixth. And now some strategy as pitching coach Kevin Vance comes out and brings the entire infield in.
Well, I think, you know, it's not only just to maybe update Pluto on Rose, but also what they're going to do if the ball is hit on the ground. You know, you got the force at home, which you want to keep it a 3-2 game. But I think this is a good strategy session, so everybody's on the same page on what they're going to do.
You assume they'll play the middle infield, probably medium depth. And if it's a bouncing ball up the middle, you just get the 2 outs, you sacrifice the run. Let's see what they're going to do here as everyone goes back to their positions. And, yep, looks like the middle infield is going to play medium depth. And they're going to crowd the bag at second. Zion Rose hitting .571 with the bases loaded. Bases loaded, nobody out. Louisville sees it on the line, trailing by a run in the 8th, and the first pitch to him is a little looping liner down the line. It's going to drop for a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes the go-ahead run. He's going to score, and Louisville takes the lead. Zion Rose drops one down just inside the right field foul line. It's 4-3 Cardinals in the 8th.
And what a perfect spot on a little cue shot. Inside, outside swing the opposite way. And you had the first baseman playing in on the grass. So he wasn't going to be an option to go after it, and just dives along the right field line and drives in 2.
And on the play, Davis goes first to third as they're going to throw to first to try to hold the runner on. Now the infield comes in for Arizona. You don't have to hit them at 110 miles an hour. Sometimes you just got to hit them where they ain't, and that's 2 bloop singles. And Louisville has flipped the script. They have taken their first lead of the afternoon. Runner goes from first. The pitch is inside for a ball. There's not even going to be a throw. As Rose takes second, and now it's second and third, and still nobody out. And now Louisville can try to play for a big inning here and try to give themselves some insurance with only 3 defensive outs to go. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch is a bouncing ball on the infield. It's going to be cut off there, and now they've got a man in a rundown between third and home. They run the pickle and get him out. So tagged out is Davis. On the play, everyone else safe at first and second. So they'll throw home and get the first out and cut down that potential 5th run. And a nice job by Arizona running that situation, because the runner at second, Zion Rose, was unable to take third.
Yeah, that was executed really well by Arizona. And, you know, I think they were going on contact, so Davis was going to be off. But now they need that double play ball to get out of the inning.
The play goes 4-2-5-1. Rose stays at second. Pike safe at first. Now 1 out. And here's Kamayu Neighbors. And the first pitch to Neighbors is outside, ball one. Neighbors is 3 for 3. Bunt single his last time up. Zion Rose with the big 2-run single. And Louisville has taken the lead. They'll look back to second and a little soft toss over there. Trying to keep an eye on Zion Rose. What a turn of events. And remember, the inning started after the bobble by Mason White. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball inside corner for a strike, 1-1. Pluta loves that cutter. One ball, one strike. And the pitch. And it's a line drive, base hit into right field. Rose is going to get held up. Oh no, he ran through the stop sign and he's safe anyway. An RBI single and a 4-hit day for Kamayu Neighbors as Zion Rose says, take your red light and shove it. I'm heading home, and it's 5-3 Louisville. The third base coach had the stop sign up all the way, and Zion Rose said, no, sir. And he scored without a play. What a day for Kamayu Neighbors. On the play, Pike goes to third. And it's 5-3 Louisville. A 3 spot in the 8th, and they still only have 1 out. Still a chance to add more. The pitch is outside, and now running off the bag at second, and they've got him run down. They'll throw to the plate, and he will be safe because the ball fell out. Garrett Pike wandered too far off a third. They then threw behind him and got him in a rundown. And the throw came late to Tony Pluta. And they couldn't get him. I couldn't tell initially, Gary, did the ball come out or did he just miss the tag? We're going to watch again here on the replay. So the catcher's got it. They go to third. He's running. They go to Pluta. And he did. He dropped it. He couldn't hold on to the ball. And Louisville steals a run. What an unraveling here in the Arizona defensive 8th.
So, a couple of things with Pike. Either that is a play or somebody missed a gigantic sign. Because he was running like it was going to be a safety squeeze. And there was nothing. Or that is a play that they run. I'm going to say that it was a missed sign, but a break for Louisville.
And a second error in the inning. The error charged to Pluta. And Kamayu Neighbors goes first to third. It is now 6-3 Cardinals, still only 1 out. They were gifted an out there and couldn't do it. And now a safety squeeze, and another run is going to score. The throw will be in time to first. They ran the safety squeeze, and Kamayu Neighbors has done it all today for Louisville. 4-hit day. Goes first to third in that rundown, and then beats the play at the plate. And it's now a 5 spot in the 8th and a 7-3 Louisville lead.
All right, Dan McDonald, we see you. Somebody missed a key sign on the Pike play, and fortunately he scores on the drop ball. And there Alisea executes it. He got the sign right.
And now the bases are empty. But all the damage has been done. Sacrifice complete. Bouncing ball up the middle. And another booted ball by White. Pluta almost made the play at the mound, but the ball bounded over his glove. Right behind the bag at second, Mason White. It came in hot, and I think it hit him up around the shoulder. And what a horrible inning for the Arizona Wildcats. I believe it'll go as a base hit. It will. Moore is credited with a single. And I don't know even if White, even if he comes up with it, would have a play. as Moore is very quick. So now the ninth man to bat in the inning. It started with White's booted ball and wild throw from short. King single, Davis single, Zion Rose, and now a steal of second.
So
what happened?
So Pluta was standing on the mound. The ball was live. Pluta was kicking at the dirt on the mound, wasn't paying attention, and Moore took off.
My goodness. You couldn't have scripted this any worse for Arizona.
But this is Louisville baseball.
Yes, it is.
They create havoc on the base pass, and they make you make a play. And Arizona just hasn't been able to do it.
So a stolen base for Lucas Moore. Here's Klein. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch swung on and missed.
And the thing about Louisville in the running game is guys like Moore have the freedom to run on their own.
Well, when you have that kind of a speed, and you can steal even without a pitch being thrown. And now he's dancing around at second, the 1-1.
So what
spins low, 2-1.
So what happened? So Moore was off of first base, and Pluta, he's fighting it here. He's talking to himself. He was kicking the mound. He was kicking dirt on the mound and kept doing it. And then Moore was like, I'm out of here.
And he was safe at second without even a play. The 2-1. Swung on and missed. 2-2.
And I tell you, they've gotten in the head of Pluta with the ball that was dropped and run down at home plate. And then remember, he almost slipped and fell on the Alsea safety squeeze right back to him.
7-3 Louisville. 5 runs in the 8th inning. And now Pluta wants another series of signs. This just has to be the worst-case scenario imagined for Chip Hale, to see his team come unraveled with their ace closer on the mound. The pitch. Smash, left field, base hit. Moore coming around to score. Here comes the throw. It's going to be late. They'll throw behind the runner. They'll tag him out at second, but it's an RBI single for Matt Klein and an exclamation point on a 6-run inning. We head to the 9th. It's now Louisville 8, Arizona 3. In association with 1620 The Zone, you're listening to the Men's College World Series on the NCAA Radio Network.
Omaha knows baseball, and muscle recovery is no game. That's why they trust KRT Athletic Muscle Cream for pregame, mid-game performance, and post-game recovery. KRT uses transdermal science to help keep muscles loose, fight cramps fast, and get you back in the action. All natural, WADA compliant, trusted by elite athletes. So swing harder, run faster, recover smarter. KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, stay in the game. Available now at krtrelief.com.
It's the bottom of the 9th. The sun's blazing and your home feels like a sauna. Don't sweat it. Stradsky Heating and Cooling is stepping up to the plate. Family owned and operated, Stradsky has been knocking summer heat out of the park for more than 70 years. Whether it's AC repair, replacement, or a full system tune-up, Stradsky brings the cool when it counts. Click heatomaha.com today to beat the heat before it steals home. Stradsky Heating and Cooling, your hometown MVP for comfort.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Welcome back to the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
The Louisville Cardinals, owners of 18 come-from-behind victories, just put on maybe their best rally of the season. Down a run in the 8th, scoring 6, and doing it in every possible way, taking advantage of Arizona mistakes, their own base-running aggressiveness, and a little lady luck. 8-3 Louisville It's 1 ball and no strikes. Here's Breyfogle. And he takes low. Tucker Bivens stays on the mound, and the advantage you have now, if you're Dan McDonnell, is you can let Bivens ride this one out because you've got a 5-run cushion. Here's the 2-0, and it's outside ball 3. Our 9th inning presented by Pint 9 Brewing Company in La Vista, Nebraska, where every pint is a home run.
A couple of duck snorts to begin that inning.
And a couple of very costly errors. There's a strike taken at the knees. 3-1. Breyfogle today is 0 for 3. Grounded into a double play, struck out, and grounded out to first. 8-3 Cardinals, top of the 9th. The pitch. And a chopper on the infield. Pitcher's going to have to cover. Nice pirouette, and the throw gets away. It actually knocked the glove off of Tucker Bivens. It was a very tough play on that slow chopper. And trying to feed the pitcher Bivens, the glove and the runner collided. The glove came out. The ball came out with it, and so the runner is safe at first. It'll be an infield hit for Breyfogle. And now Arizona's trying to pull itself off the map. Can they answer? Here's Brendan Summerhill. 0 for 4 today. I can't think. Normally you get a 6-run rally and there's maybe a double, at least a home run, at least a couple of extra base hits. All it was a couple of, excuse me, little bloop hits, some aggressive base running, and a missed sign, and a drop ball at the plate. 0-1 to Summerall. The pitch, and he pops it up on the infield, right up on the elevator shaft, behind home plate. Here is Klein. He's there. He'll make the catch, and there's 1 out.
Well, to your point, the first 2 hits in that inning, the exit velocity off the bat were 74 and 66 miles an hour, respectively.
Zion Rose, just that little bloop double. And again, it's hit them where they ain't. But we wondered if the Louisville running game would finally get going. And you think about Neighbors going first to third during the rundown. And you had Lucas Moore stealing second without even a pitch being thrown, as this pitch is in there for a strike to Aaron Walton. It took some time to get there, but finally Louisville did what it does best. Run. 0-1 to Aaron Walton. Walton was hit by a pitch, scored in the first. This one breaks away. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Should Louisville hold on, they will advance. They will await whoever fails to win tonight. Oregon State, Coastal Carolina, winner's bracket game in bracket 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball outside, 2-1. And you know if this were only a 1 or a 2-run game right now, you'd have Dan McDonnell looking down in that bullpen. But he's got the ability now to let Bivens ride it out. Louisville really doesn't have a traditional back-end closer. Bivens actually has the most saves on the team with 4, but he's also started a handful of games. There's a base hit to left. Arizona says, stop writing our obituary. We're not over yet. Walton singles, and there's 2 on now for Mason White.
Well, this is a chance a little bit at redemption.
Well, White, who booted the ground ball by Jake Monroe that started the bottom of the 8th. He's 0 for 3 today, hit by a pitch in the first. And remember, he also got caught up in a rundown between second and third on that RBI single. That could have actually been another run that would have scored in that first inning. He takes a strike here. Now, of course, it's an 8-3 game, and you never know how things play out after that. But you know Mason White does not want his season to end this way. the junior shortstop out of Tucson, who homered earlier in this College World Series, takes a mighty cut here and misses. It's 0-2. This is someone you will be seeing down the road in professional baseball. Mason White, second all-time home run leader in U of A history. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 out, 9th inning. And again, another world to second, and just another here. I need to get this ball out of my hands. It's almost like it's a hot potato or something. He doesn't have to throw it. But you see it all the time. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a breaking ball. And Louisville is 1 out away in the 9th inning, presented by Pint 9 Brewing Company in La Vista, Nebraska, where every pint is a home run. Here is Adonis Guzman, who's had the best College World Series of any of these Wildcat players. He's had 5 hits. He had a home run earlier today. He's 2 for 4. And just trying to move the line along, but now everybody must move the line along. There's no more room for error. And the first pitch is a fastball outside. Dan McDonald's Louisville Cardinals, who are in their 6th College World Series since he took over in 2007, are 2-2 all time in these 0-1 games. Takes low here. Back in 2019, they actually won their next 2 games after dropping the opener. There's a strike. And it's 2-1. Two balls and a strike. 2 out. 8-3 Louisville. The pitch. A high fly ball. Center field. Lucas Moore is there. He's got it. And Louisville moves on in the 2025 NCAA Men's College World Series. A hug from Eddie King. And Zion Rose, the hero. Another hug from Lucas Moore. The Cardinals with a 6-run rally in the 8th. Win it today 8-3 here in Omaha. We'll be back with a postgame right after this from 1620 The Zone and the NCAA Radio Network. This is the Men's College World Series.
A consultation at Sedora Law Group isn't a formality, it's a strategic session with experienced trial attorneys who've handled felony charges, DUI cases, and complex litigation for individuals and corporate clients. Experience matters. At the Sedora Law Group, that experience focuses on what matters most in court: posture, presentation, and legal credibility. Schedule a consultation at SedoraLaw.com. That's SODORO Law.com. When your family, freedom, or finances are on the line, your outcome depends on what you do next. Visit SedoraLaw.com.
Attention baseball fans, are you ready for the ultimate college baseball experience? The series is back in Omaha, and Tickets for Less is your home whether you're looking to buy or sell your tickets. With Tickets for Less, you can buy and sell tickets 3 ways. Go to ticketsforless.com to find out more. Shop the best seats at the best prices with no service fees. And save now with promo code THEZONE at ticketsforless.com. Ticketsforless.com is not an official ticket reseller of the NCAA Men's College World Series.
There's a new tomorrow on the other side of the horizon. There are promises to honor, work that needs to be done, friendships to enjoy, and people that count on each other. These are the things that tie our communities together. They always have, and they always will. Build your tomorrow with a bank you can rely on. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Now back to the Patera Landscaping broadcast booth at Charles Schwab Field for more of the Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and Westwood One. Presented by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream.
Well, we said this was going to be a low-scoring game, and it was proving to be that way until the 8th inning, with Louisville trailing 3-2. They got an opening error, and what a wild inning it was. A big 2-run single by Zion Rose gave them the lead, and then a drop ball at the plate when they had Garrett Pike dead to rights. Coming down the line at third, Kamayu Neighbors delivered a sacrifice bunt. Neighbors delivered an RBI single. Alisea delivered a sacrifice bunt. Klein delivered an RBI single, and just like that, it went from 3-2 down to 8-3 up, and Louisville's season stays alive with a victory today over Arizona. We're going to head down and talk to one of the heroes of the game, and Kamayu Neighbors. 4 hits today and an instrumental part of that 6th spot in the 8th. Let's head down to Connor Happer.
Yeah, thanks, John, here with Kamayu Neighbors. Kamayu, man, I mean, what happened in that 8th inning? Take me through it a little bit.
We moved the ball finally. Coach Mack